reincarnated into the tomb. The first thing you did was spend money to create a dual-winged spirit, only because you woke up and realized you find yourself in the tomb world. Not only have you become a tomb, you also need to be trapped in the tomb for a long time. You need to know. The whole atmosphere relies on the shadows, healers, and the treasures of the tomb. However, the treasures are destroyed by the shadows. You will be in a day without a trace. And to protect your body, your fate commands the dual-winged spirit to descend upon the tomb. Come to kill. The massive spirit begins to move. With a soft and gentle touch, it climbs up the tomb. The spirit gently hovers above the tomb, carrying the massive poison beneath. Approaching the top, the sound echoes in the direction. Yes, this tomb is not large. The ground is quite solid. Overall, it has come. A man has entered the tomb. Don Sanxi is coming. No problem. Just a big point, kid. Let's go down. Listen, the tomb is advancing again with a skull. Grab around. Only then can I jump down. I also called down another. Continuing to advance. As more and more people stand on the wooden platform, you still know that you have no calls. But still feel some comfort. The dual-winged spirit feels his thoughts. Not visibly moving. Emit a faint, inaudible sound. Now is not the time. You are aware of the low voice. That spirit quietly settles down. Re-entering a piece of darkness. He feels something strange here. The voice of an old tree comes from outside. Just that one person has not entered. Several men have already entered, left and right. There are still two jumping down from the wooden platform. Let the old tree drop down. What is strange? The tomb is indeed over the cliff. You barely consider this close distance. The dual-winged spirit may be discovered. But it is very clear. Release the body. It looks like it is attached to the stone on the tomb. That little boy jumping down. The old tree has hit its back. But completely unaware. The old tree is still in a daze. A few young people start to be restless. Note that I said, old tree. On the way, you are the most miserable. Before, several times were. I also entered the tomb. Still talking about what rules. Just that. Just that. This place is connected to the law. One look is the wilderness. Indeed not the main topic of discussion. Good to say. The old tree finally sighed. Become. You guys are starting to be miserable. The old man comes down. Say complete. On the wooden platform, a huge echo. Crass. You feel, still, your wooden platform is made of stone. Also almost collapsed. The old tree looks short in the shadow of the eagle. But the whole body is covered in muscle. The estimate is that everyone here is in a pretty bad situation. Right now, people have already reached the cliff. It's the best time to strike. Kill the last one that came down. The double-winged eagle has countless feathers starting to soar. The old tree remains unguarded. One side is brushing against the backpack with a handheld electric device. One side of the path. Right, this place is still quite cold. The passage is open. The old tree suddenly collapsed. The old tree. At this moment, a crowd has started to gather. Only then did I think of turning on my handheld device. A few beams of light are focusing on the old tree. Only see. The old tree is in a place where it is being attacked. It looks like a certain type of giant insect is responsible. The surrounding area has already begun to turn purple. The old tree is poisoned. Roam fast, someone shouted loudly. Shout. Who knows? Just barely managed to lift my head. They just hit the old tree and took a picture. It directly stood up halfway. The back wing lifted up. There is no practical use. Get enough to throw people off their feet. Walk towards the cliff. Quickly go up. Move it quickly in front. Everyone is being thrown off. The eagle's head is relatively close to a few of the nearby cliffs. Camps busy under the chaos. The crowd is gathering towards the cliff. But it is irrelevant. They didn't think about the fire machine on their own body. The dirt bomb. And the worm. They only think about running. The double-winged eagle's claws are coming from the cliff's moonlight. It is shining on the head. A joyful cry comes out. The body on the cliff is getting tighter. The giant poison insect starts to attack a few people. It caught me. He will definitely follow the rules next time. Godie, the old man will kill you. Hey, you better not come over. Sabe me, requesting help. Grab. Cian calls. Not necessarily in the ear. You see the aura value popping up in front of you. Excited also not necessarily in the heart. Kill a name beginner's cave. Gand me aura value. No more than a few minutes. The reverse pop-up has released 6 such messages. In an instant, your aura value has changed to 6,000. Suddenly, another light green message pops up. Experience value sufficient. Can't spend 20,000 aura value. Level up double-winged eagle. Become a four-winged eagle. You grabbed a red four-winged eagle's 4 characters. Stand up and jump out a line of notes. Forward-winged eagle. Lengths. 10 meters. In the lower level of poison. Kill damage is still possible. Wake fire. Dual-winged insect upgrade version. The body type has not increased much. Back due to the external angle of the trap being stronger. Wing structure has improved. Increased quite a bit of body weight. Has mastered the technique of flight. Compared to the previous level, the mobility is stronger. The previous prompt is your tomb entrance big enough. You thought about your own 3-pin rice tomb. Have received the system's feedback. At this time, the dual-winged insect has already resolved the last tomb treasure. Still not forgetting the tomb around the treasure. Using claws to reassemble the trapped soil. Holding the tomb. It has reached your wooden coffin. Looks like it's waiting for the prize. How can this be rejected? You definitely won't they let it do the selection. The insect's emergence from the picture seems to be a bit pleasing. Some kind of black-colored material is gathering around it. Touching it on its body. Gradually materializing. About a minute after. A single body type is now bigger than before. Bandit, the dual-winged insect is full of vitality. The four-winged insect appears in the tomb. If not, this tomb is too small. Blocked it from expanding. It must be even more imposing. Detecting that the host has already possessed higher-level life forms. Whether to set it as a guardian beast. Guardian beast. Guardian beast and tomb connection. The tomb does not perish. The guardian beast does not die. Currently, this insect could be your bottom. Of course, it can't be easily raised. The four-winged insect's symbol seems to emit some faint light. But still, the horse hasn't entered its body. This appearance is not visible. The four-winged insect may have some feelings. Lingering on the wooden material. Issuing a quick chirping sound. If not, it can't move. You think about touching its head. After a single operation. You can calculate the airflow. Anxiety will bring danger. Currently, it's still not the time to release. Dait 6. Only come to more 6. I certainly understand. I remember. That guy called himself the tomb gate. Device. The system no longer responds. Cheater. You said it once. Before it, these few people still raised the insect head. You imprint the symbol and the tomb gate related insect head. There is only one Chenju tower. That torture can be big. Responding to his heart. The four-winged insect has moved a bit. Because the place is too small. Clearly moving not careless. This place is still too small. You again adjust the store page. In the tomb quality that one. Found the upgrade option. Upgrade tomb to wasteland. Need to spend 600 ADO energy. Whether to upgrade. First upgrade. Revenue is more. Surface area is 4 times. Tomb wall thickening. Mine tomb chamber surrounding increases first level concealment. New hand not 2 options. Very suitable for current situation. Or say. Except for this one. Also has no other options. The business city is to have a few knockoff products. Not everyone is like that. 7-star suspicion. A kind of arrangement. You are in the middle. But they are not unsealed. It's just that I can't buy it. Calculate the odds. Old man really levels up and fights back. At this time, the eagle is soaring above. The chamber is full of dust. You can feel the clarity within yourself. Watching the twin wings fluttering to life. You start calculating. It currently needs a more stable aura value. Suggest planting people like this to provide resources. These could be your hope before life. Lying down and taking the resources. You think about lying down. Buying amounts for now, you think about lying down 10, you think about lying down 350. Buying amount 1050. Buy you have no way 10, you have no way 350. 100. When calculating, this system game is quite a lot 10, this system game is quite a lot 350. When calculating 100. When calculating, but every time is very useful 10, but every time is dependent on 350. When calculating 350. When calculating, you hit a person 350. You hit a person 350. You hit a person. This playful child's marker. Looking up and the common tree has no separation. Except for the tree trunk, there is a person. The person. A piece of the person. Merchandise. Every day can produce 10 points of aura value. Currently planting limit. Explanation. Opening must be good. Bolt and then calculated the steps into the right track. Very calculated. Every piece 350 aura value. It currently still has 3600 aura value. Campo the amount. Also is the wrap white light and shadow. Entering the wooden side of the ground. Meat-eyes can be seen. On the ground, many branches of the small tree. The four wings fluttering towards the many branches of the small tree and not bad. However, the selected option is to avoid. Take it down, only left behind. Good to see this few pieces of treasure. Or maybe it's because just woke up and met the trap. You are currently in a difficult situation. Is still very unwilling. But the four wings fluttering is just quietly lifting the wooden side. Protecting you. Really can rely. You have said in your heart. Calmly entering sleep. Wake up. A few months have passed. A few months in. You find. Still currently he no longer needs to carve intention to rest. But the appropriate rest can let him divine clarity. The spirit also more suitable for this world. Today is a big day. You opened your own face. In the chamber, the eagle is soaring. The person has already had a high color. The four wings fluttering compared to a few months ago. Also experienced a few upgrades. Even more powerful. Inside the chamber also has many newly bought items. Every piece has a big head. You actually don't care. It looks towards each value. The aura value this piece. After this period of time's increase. Already reached 3,500. Open the merchant city again. The light vehicle has reached the long-standing target. Is it worth 20,000 pulgadas humidity value? The upgrade host interface is a common feature. Your heart is racing. 3 months. It calculates the humidity value. Let yourself truly get moving. Eat this. The cold wind rises again. The humidity seeps into your body. You feel a chill around you. As if spring rain is soaking around you. After this feeling ends. It tries to move his hand. It hears his own voice echoing, which is frightening. But he is delighted. Hearing the sound of the four-winged demon. The heart is replaced by the wooden box. In the moment he sits up. You feel a strange comfort that is hard to describe. Below all this. Then it really counts as a revival. Walk out of the stone forest. Under the four-winged demon and the wooden box. You adapt to your own frozen body. One side is in the cave watching. At this moment, everything is a sight for sore eyes. Stone wall. Tree sap. Giant insect. Compared to the light, it looks like a dragonfly. But it is a bit too much. It also feels it. This place has already been expanded several times. It's still too small. Congratulations, the host can upgrade. Can unlock new abilities. Is it possible to sketch and try? A few months of grinding. You have already been in this system. Jump out to see if people are doing strange things. He quietly points out. In the sketch. Find the two products of wind and water. Is it possible to move? You act like a fool. Staring wide-eyed. The two products of wind and water. This is the two products of wind and water. Look at yourself in this place. The linked products do not enter. His eyes look towards. Eat this option. Under the horse, a warning of 1500 humidity value appears. This price is also just right. Just don't rely on some old tricks. Still, it is a wind and water product. Cool, those ancient wind and water masters. Almohadilla. Those ancient wind and water masters set the location. Fragrance. Or the demon god will not let go. Going to that side may not be good. Or be more troublesome. Profit and wind are both present. Now hold this. Don't know what comes with it. At this time, it is still in a state of excitement. This is still the first time you see yourself. Seeing you suddenly not moving. It seems to use a brain bag to slow him down. You feel your own fingers' movement. Returning from the divine. Seeing a glimpse of these layouts. Saying that it is not particularly strong. But self-defense ability is still present. And their focus on these. Is still not as prepared as a machine. Already revived once. Just need to live out a flower-like life. The upper deck is all workers. Mixed society. It seems to have the deepest understanding. It's just that he's a little too dead. It's killed a lot. What more can I say? Currently, it seems like there's something significant happening. He hasn't shown up yet. At this moment, my corner of the mouth has already risen into an expected smile. Eat this. Definitely confirming this option for a brief moment. You feel a slight tremor coming from the tomb. But it quickly stopped. Right in front of me, it appeared. Also, it's a system notification. Successfully moved the tomb entrance. Cleared a 1500 humidity value. The time left for the tomb entrance to cool down is remaining. 30 days. You feel a chill in your heart. How could it be so advantageous? Once again, open the Phoenix drawing. Yost went through the recent upgrade. The Phoenix drawing is surrounded by a small opening. Inside is a water mist map. Using a red marker to indicate the location of your tomb. And not far from it. There is already a marked spot that has been eroded. That should be his tomb's old location. Congratulations to the host for successfully occupying the green dragon's position. Special effects are permanently effective. The system has launched several lines of congratulatory messages. Humidity value increase rate has added 100%. Humidity value más 50,000. This is your successful relocation reward. It's also your income from the storm. Congratulations, you have taken another step forward. Eat this. You smirk. And don't say you're not bragging. You may gain these additions and bonuses. This is just a bit of luck. Your mood is quite good. You calculate the direction of your tomb outside. One of the good places to be active is just not having to rely on those maps. You are the master of the tomb. The entire tomb moves according to his recognition. The tomb door automatically opens. He crossed over this stone slab to create a heavy door. Walking outside. The exit is at the mountain valley. When you walk out, it's already late. The moon is bright and the stars are sparse. You borrow the moonlight. You walk with red feet for 4 weeks. Unless someone sees it at this time. Estimated to be shot dead. A broken branch of a stiff bamboo. The meat on the body has no few remaining pieces. How can you see the white bones below? Binge is a giant insect. Around the body, there are also many large and small insects. Running full speed in the valley. But you are no longer there. It appears. There are colorful feathers around. And the high mountain flows with water. The scenery is beautiful. Compared to the previous broken ground, it's much better. At this time, looking at your own lead, it only feels relaxed. The four-winged insect is also a similar mood. It has always been lurking in the tomb. And the size of the tomb has no relation. But it seems to require a scheduled dog. The four-winged insect wants to run out to play. There is also a time. This return. Overall, it's just a child running enough. Directly to see you turn around to prepare to go back. It just loves to follow. And then, not walking a few steps. You'll surround the entrance of the tomb. You suddenly stop your steps. Whoo! You don't make a sound. The light quickly sweeps past 4 corners. A tailbone that has neither come nor hidden has appeared. Currently, it is stealthily moving through the dense shadows of the tree. Worm species. You have passed through the body. A precise view towards the direction of the tree. At this moment, its body is just a puppet. You can sense the vitality of the living creatures. Yet it is distinctly different from human beings. But without a doubt, that creature is right in the direction of the tree. It seems to have already been in place for a while. You can't move away from the tree. It is indeed suspicious. What it needs now is to shake its head. In the next second, it will be attacked by this family of creatures. Looking from the breath. This is a large family of creatures. Only holding on to a piece of stone. The creatures in the tree do not stay. They have rushed out. It has appeared. Or it can be said. Not to be self-righteous. The body type is a large worm. Call someone for a moment, and the situation is not forbidden. Thinking of certain creatures in some divine words. Green eagle's body. A huge body is standing. Poisonous teeth are lined up in the huge mouth. A pair of golden eyes. Dark and cold. Looking at you. That is the eye spirit of the creature. But who is the creature? Your heart is cold and laughing. Immediately. It is slightly moving. Coldly spit out a few words. Four-winged worm. It has been caught. They'll say it is to break the frame. You are completely not afraid now. The green giant worm in front of you looks over 10 meters long. And the four-winged worm is not above or below. It is only the four-winged worm at this moment. Only the head of the four-winged worm is on your body. The quality of the layer of skin has already increased several times. The poison is even more intensified. A bite can break half of the tree trunk. Compared to before. Just now, that connected worm has not fallen off the giant worm. Also, there is only this type of body that can be seen. You are looking at the plane next to you. Don't forget to recharge 2 sentences. A little bit of movement. Don't leave behind too big a shock. The four-winged worm's low voice is a bit. It shows that you have already understood. It taking beyond the development of the worm. 2 worms are indeed large creatures fighting together. The four-winged worm is obviously more occupying the wind. Not more than a piece. It has already bitten the giant worm 7 inches. The eyes are only used in a limited way. Between life and death. The giant worm suddenly released its grip. Facing you, it lowered its head. You see it's trembling. A little bit. And so on. The four-winged worm stands at the bottom of the tree. Like a challenge function. The giant worm will die in front of you. Originally, you are this playful child with intelligence. That giant worm can indeed understand human speech. It will lower its body. There is only a helmet in front of you. Up and down a bit. Basically, It is a request for food. The green giant worm is in a state of acceptance. Whether to receive and set as a guardian beast. Among them, how many characters of the green giant worm? The initial pair of 4 winged worms is the same red. Ju stepped on it. Green phoenix giant. Lengths, 13 meters. A killer of the group. The body type is massive and muscular. Lacking other attributes. The lack of other attributes leads to a performance evaluation based on biological evolution, please. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution, please. However, the unclear weakness leads to a performance evaluation based on biological evolution, please. However, the unclear weakness leads to a performance evaluation based on biological evolution, please. However, the unclear weakness leads to a performance evaluation based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution system. The performance evaluation is based on the unclear weakness. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution system. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution system. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution system. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution system. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution system. The requirement for evolution is to advance. The requirement for evolution is to evaluate the quality of biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution system. The evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The performance evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The performance evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The performance evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The performance evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The performance evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The performance evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The performance evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The performance evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The performance evaluation of the biological evolution is initiated. The requirement for evolution is to advance. The requirement for evolution is to evaluate the quality of biological evolution. The performance evaluation is based on biological evolution. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution system. The evolution must be genuine. Do not let the evolution system lead to failure. Do not let the evolution system lead to failure. Please do not let yourself fail in the evolution system. After all, a few words at the end do not matter how they look, it's quite suspicious. Evolution is difficult. And there are risks of failure. But you are not someone who would abandon benefits due to risks. Where does the current secondary product of the black market come from? Collection. It could be your new biological name. Its name is. Ju just thought about it. Ju took a glance at its green color on your body. Saying it casually. The system interface glows slightly, revealing a small green body. It was just following you when you called it. It stood up. But it just looked like it was in a daze. At this time, the sky began to change. Ju took a glance at it. Ju took a glance at it. Still good. Just now, the speed battle was decided. And they are all on the same path. There are no remaining injuries. It is also time to go back. Return to the dark tomb. Ju currently cannot think of returning to the wooden material. Today is the green phoenix giant. Next theme, what kind of monster will it be? You want to encounter similar situations again. Add strength once more, the 4-winged dragon is essential. This is also a chance. Is it worth 5,000 shadow energy value? Will the 4-winged dragon evolve into a 6-winged dragon? Is. And the previous evolution was the same. It appeared from the dark tomb. Some are even more profound than the dark. They are attached to the 4-winged dragon's body. Every layer is wrapped. The 4-winged dragon begins to evolve. The form of evolution is becoming more and more bizarre. The more it comes out, the more it looks like a dragon. A faint black light flickers outside. There is also a faint glow of a medicinal herb. Everything mimics the void. Yet it tends to solidify. It's just a matter of seconds. The inner herb appears without entering the body. It has already transformed from the original 4-winged insect, becoming the 6-winged insect, buzzing incessantly. After the progression, the 6 wings emitted a swift buzzing sound. Then, it suddenly approached you. Its body surrounded you. But it still maintains a distance that won't make you feel uneasy. A small heart, yet still cautious. Ultimately, it might be self-revealing. The physical form is indeed not suitable for manipulation. It's just a small heart, twitching, that has been entangled with your face. The back wings fluttered lightly. Looks quite pleasing. Captured its head. The nearby green dragon giant looked at the 6-winged insect. And looked at you. Its eyes opened and closed. Repeatedly. Is the mimicry in doubt, or is it just a dream? Ju grabbed it with one eye. Even if it's stable, it still touched its wings. Good. Ju can also get the reward. The green dragon giant said, moving a bit. And then, not knowing what to think, turning over the body. Suddenly, it rushed towards a certain corner of the tomb. The green dragon's pen. The green giant. Deep mountain old forest. Ju see it drift away. It also has a bit of a divine return. Sadly realizing where the connection is. Bass. This place resembles a certain old tomb. Ju think of this place, your heart feels a bit. Is it really the tomb of the king? Then it has become a great discovery. The tomb of the king might have some electric energy. This could be a mountain climbing request to the crazy good east. Only regret the electric energy in the merchant city. Value of 200,000 shadow energy is not to be mentioned. It has no resources to exchange. And so on. This thought is indeed too far. Ju's intelligence has made him return. What is more important now is the stable mentality. 500. What is more important now is the stable mentality. 500. 5001, not even a bit. Not even a bit. I said this place is a bit of a trap. But it's not current. When the task is urgent, it should be well developed. 2 words are not to be said. Ju pointed out the merchant city page. At this time, the tomb's people face the plant. The upper limit has already increased to 30. Pulling full. Allah obtained. Your big hand is a grab. Except for the people who can continue to develop. There are also some used to prevent the disease. Also, a breath increased by several hundred. Conveniently expanded a large tomb. Conveniently has already become a 6-winged insect. Can fly in the tomb. At this time, it originally a 5W shadow energy. In a moment, it only leaves behind 2W more. But you don't calculate it, just stop his crazy purchase. Once again grabbed it. Turning to that physical page. It can only exchange for 1 physical. Is it worth 2W shadow energy? Exchange level 1 physical. 2W. This is just the initial quality of the product. Sepe Dragon Ball. The Dragon Master needs to level up. Juma Dragon Ball. The shadow value of the flower will increase. Juma Dragon Ball can fight the dragon. It is just as experienced as he is deep in thought. Stone Dragon Ball can also fight the dragon. Only then can a decision be made. Rebirth Dragon Ball can also fight the dragon. The Dragon Master currently has the greatest asset, which is the Guardian Beast. It currently has the greatest asset, which is the Guardian Beast. But they cannot always follow themselves. Strengthening oneself is essential. The shadow quality is one of the directions for the upgrade. The market price in the business city is not compatible with the quality. However, this quality is very suitable for you now. Ancient books have clouds. Shadow quality is a must. Like fire, like burning. Shadow quality comes from the world. Can cause a disaster of millions on the ground. This is the most direct explanation for ancient people regarding shadow quality. And at this time, Ju can see. There is also this quality that further develops. The flesh quality strengthens. Walk like the wind. The body is not rotten. Grab the hand to form a shadow. And after the next upgrade, it will be described as comparable to dragon fighting quality. Compared to the previous. 2W shadow value is just a small investment. Following the page's light wave, it doesn't enter the body. Ju look down and see your own hands. Originally, the skin on both hands still has some thoughts of not being rotten. We'll reveal some skulls and flesh. After the upgrade, it will be much better. And the surrounding flesh will change to be quite full. A can feel. Currently, there's a lot of gas in his body. There are still some unclear grasp. Difficult to control. Generally, continuous upgrades are needed to develop further. Is the power and speed. A punch breaks the stone. Walk like the wind. One test. Ju are in the tomb pit, big hole. More developed. After grasping a moment, Ju basically calculate that the development is complete. 2 months of sleep accumulated boredom. Prepare to once again grasp the remaining thousands of shadow values. Break. Used to open the business city page. The green giant dragon unexpectedly came back. Is still holding a personal item on the ground. Looking ahead, this seems like a bug-like creature. Ju are a little surprised. Kill a bug. Can get 1000 shadow values. Your guardian beast, the green giant dragon, killed the bug. Congratulations, players get 1000 minutos shadow values. Ju are full of questions. There are still good things. After that, he stood up and responded. Originally like this. This place is really the tomb of the king. And the green giant dragon is this 2 or 5. Is known to be located in the bug's territory. Relying on the settings in memory. The bug needs to be frightened. Otherwise, it must be the king's main action to wake up. And now, Ju press the root and it is a little bit of a bug. What kind of gas comes from? Directly passing through that is not equal to cutting the vegetables. Ju like the shape of the color. The face reveals a joyful smile. Not wrong. Little green. Dressed up beautifully. Only then was I given a name. But it was due to the system's function. The green dragon, a giant insect, is relentless against this little green. Even to the point of being ferocious. Using a tail to trap your little foot. You opened the little green's page. A wave of intense upgrades. And the remaining 2000 dark energy points are spent on it. The little green's upgrade process and the 6-winged insect are different. And it's not accompanied by dark materials. But rather some white light. Like firelight. When it rolls around it. It seems like a soft fur. Upgrade complete. The little green still has no expression. But you can feel its joy. Walk. Now, let's go find those girls. This little green will have fun. Whisk the tail. Yost head towards a certain corner. Ju only glanced at the nearby 6-winged insect and the surrounding area. They are slowly creeping out. Following the little green, I encountered one. Ju just discovered. Originally, there was still a path near its own cave. Ju can directly reach this group of solitary insects, resting place. This group of insects is defenseless. They are originally a group of sorrowful creatures. Not like now, they are all killing lights. Is still able to donate some dark energy points. Ju bow your head slightly. A green dragon is the main guardian beast, leading the army of insects. Your guardian beast's 6-winged insect killed the solitary insect. Congratulations, the host gained 1000 minutos dark energy points. Looking at the system prompt that keeps popping up in front. Your jaw is not self-restrained. On the other side. The Lingyun Palace is in front of Shilling Sect. Lingyun Palace is tightly guarding the Lingyun Palace. One word, one phrase. A sharp blade cuts through iron. You will definitely find the electric light. Who dares to be as bold as you? Lingyun Palace is in the shape of a body. He stood up, staring. You all want to see my fierce eyes, eh? 3 people didn't answer at once. Face to face. Lingyun Palace doesn't let them speak. One grabbed and pulled down his own stone. That pair of eyes opened. There are no pupils in the mirror. Originally, the atmosphere was a bit cold. Can't say anything. Looking at Lingyun Palace. The situation seems to be more serious than she thought. Achieved a satisfactory response. Lingyun Palace brought back the stone. Slowly returning to their own position. Huan Beiji smashed a punch. Is still not dead-hearted. That, can you come with us? Ju must have been there for years. That should be. Lingyun Palace didn't speak. Crossing the body, one word doesn't come out. This is clearly to send guests. Huan Beiji and the others are helpless. Can only prepare to leave. But just when they opened the door. From the outside, a hen came in. It on 3 corners faced one eye. Stopped the footsteps. Standing at the door. Watching that hen walk to Lingyun Palace's side. The body began to speak. There are a few brothers. In the tomb of Wang, that side lost. What? Lingyun Palace has some doubts about their own ears. The body is a bit stiff. How could anyone still dare to go there? That kid seems to have some guts. But it's still a forceful way to explain things. The person below doesn't know what happened before. It was just about opening a small tomb. The famous one got killed. Chen Julo has quietly carved his way. In the end, he passed by. His face looks a bit off. Just now, two people were talking, and one of them caught some words. What does it mean to have a big guess in the heart? What does it look like? Can we go together to the tomb of the king? Chen Zhulo isn't moving. The expression on his face is changing. It's a bit grim. It's a return. It's. After the first tomb, the brother was harmed. I can't sit and watch. But in the end, it's still a heavy blow. Action. On the other side, just now, I still laid out the unique path. Only the full body remains. From the body, the foul liquid is too much. You have some luck, but now you're a bit unlucky. Can't smell the taste. Following that, one corpse was surrounded and killed. In front of you, once again, a warning. The air quality has successfully broken 10,000. System auto upgrade. Already unlocked special attributes. Terán. You feel a little happy. This terrain also exists in the commercial city. Corresponds to the upgraded version of the layout. Similar to the poison of the tomb. Like a ghost family. I'll belong to the terrain. Still haven't come to the commercial city. Another warning came out. Detected that the surrounding area exists as an unlockable terrain. Colorful cloud poison. Is it possible to absorb 2W air quality? You added Roshi. Then you just smile. Still really thinking about what to do. His eyes are filled with poison for a long time. Just this one. Held back by many tombs. Just like the year of Chenjolo, also in front of this. After these months. Except for the initial tomb crisis. You still haven't encountered any problems. Self-advancing absorption, but he is very clear about this world. But he is very clear about this world. Dos vatios air quality directly absorbs. But he is very clear about this world. Directly absorb almohadilla world token, moon air directly absorbs. Proceeding with colorful mother poison, worth absorbing. Colorful mother poison, won't give people a sense of security. Directly absorbing colorful mother poison, won't give people a sense of security. Method, colorful cloud every poison, directly absorbing won't give people a sense of security. Colorful cloud poison, won't give people a sense of security. Colorful cloud poison, won't give people a sense of security. Colorful cloud poison, almohadilla absorption. Colorful cloud poison, this matter is going. Colorful cloud poison, colorful cloud poison, just like the last time. Colorful cloud poison, colorful cloud poison, just not too much. Just not too much. There are countless remnants. Remnants are many. Remnants ultimately are remnants. Always encounter solutions. And want to enhance the remnants, lethality. Bright and dark, all must be prepared. Terán naturally cannot be less. Just not too much. You haven't stood up to grab the sky. And just took a look at the side. Please relax. Terán won't cause harm to the guardian beast. This is the same route. What is too urgent? What kind of good luck is still left? You chose that option deep within yourself. The tomb's entrance also suddenly appeared. Only a fierce wind can be seen. It carries a chilling aura. Currently manifesting within the tomb. Surrounding chaos. No less than a piece of jade. The tomb's entrance revealed a surge of intense energy. Clearly, it's the poison from the tomb master's transmission. This effectiveness. Seeing you, feelings don't restrain the corner of the mouth. Your own bottom line has become one more. Following the emergence of the chilling aura. The terrain on the surface also frequently presents a brief introduction. Colorful cloud poison. Attributes. Poison. Quality. Upper rank. Great scope. No distinction. Possessing penetrating attack power. Simple but effective. A certain level of poison resistance is needed for possible resolution. Unable to defend against the intruder. The most difficult opponent. Is the wind. Is the air. Is the poison. Looking at a treasure entering the cauldron. Your heart is exceptionally satisfied. The page in the closed hand. You raise your head. Only then does it appear. Not knowing when. The surrounding area has already filled with red poison. This red poison is. The immortal worm does not die. Imitating the Buddha to prove your guess. The red poison transmits a low hiss. The voice is powerful. The main character has captured a 6-winged moth beside him. It stands majestically. The wings are flapping. The surrounding red poison has opened a large area. Revealing a huge golden surface. Fuzzing you. This is a surface item of the golden surface. Among them is a giant eye. Currently in constant motion. The lower half of the surface is where the worm will have its mouth. The body is wearing a blue copper ring made of dragon tendons. Lone and full of copper flowers. Below is a generally red pit. Between the clouds is currently emitting red poison. Adding on, there are also human-like thin and delicate arms, providing it with just that rapid movement. The immortal worm's body shape and the blue dragon's giant worm do not match. It raised its body. You have already become an intruder. You are not afraid. Instead, you smile lightly. Previously, the high-priced money will self and protect. The tomb beast level 1 is indeed correct. Good, the immortal worm does not die. Already you send up the door. Then I am not a guest. This side just touches and it will appear. And peaceful, not less. Or changing the dialogue. And peaceful to let people unable to accept. A group of people like Ubaidi is standing in that small tomb. Using a handheld device to scan a 4-week area. No matter how to find. Only the damp and dark mud wall. And the 6 tools are deadly. The fat man has already turned a circle. Returning to the tomb. Ask. No messing up. Use this. This broken place can trap the people of the mountain. Want to know this will be. They haven't come down at all. The space inside the tomb has already been completely occupied. Surroundings have been cleared of any debris. There is not a single piece of wood left. There isn't a single trace of the tomb left. Ubai feels uneasy. Asante replied. Looking towards the Lingyun Palace. That initial report about the Lingyun Palace. The ghost will bring the Lingyun Palace down from above. Leading to a few tools in front. The Lingyun Palace descends. Turned over the first page. A slight movement stirred the air. This is a disease. The Lingyun Palace's color suddenly changed. A is facing Ubaidi. The body feels a slight chill. The brain is going through a fog. It's the initial situation of the tomb. Can leave behind this disease. It's a kind of worm. And it's a giant creature. It's still smaller than the initial 6-winged worm. But still enough to be troublesome. It's just, how could that playful kid appear in this small pit? It's impossible to find such creatures in this vicinity. Ubai and the others noticed the unusualness of the Lingyun Palace. Surrounded by the past. Just now, they had already checked the tomb. But there was no head left. Died from a bite. The surrounding area seems to still have some kind of toxic residue. What do you see? The Lingyun Palace is blackened. The atmosphere is heavy. It's said that the warning is not more than a division. Not estrange. Distime, what we face is not simple. A million can't stop the external life. At the same time, towards you, the Lord who doesn't die will see himself empty. Stand up and adjust the situation. Prepare for the second ambush. The green eagle and the 6-winged worm are moving at the same time. Rush to the Lord who doesn't die in front. 3 giant monsters are fighting each other. The scene is extremely intense. The 2 giants under your hands have already gone through several upgrades. Battle power is terrifying. But that Lord doesn't die. Recovery ability is similarly not something to be trifled with. For a while. Difficult to distinguish. The Lord who doesn't die has been attacked countless times by 2 other monsters. And countless times used the transformation ability to recover. The result of the battle. 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 Also, the surrounding area is all a mess. Crushed. Hey. Sinking. Green copper. The scene is not good. Ju originally thought it would be too spicy. So there is no way out. But as time flows, it feels that he still has some confidence. To say the least. Still not facing the living things. Keep the failure. You see the hint that suddenly pops out. Stand up. The Lord who doesn't die is busy with 2 other monsters. It faced the green eagle. The tail also randomly swayed. It's good to hit you. Before being bitten by the green eagle. It was welcomed with a hit. He can stop moving. His eyes turned towards you. Looking at you. What time did this little eastern-western phenomenon appear before me? The immortal worm hasn't responded yet. If you dive deep into the abyss, you'll see a hint of despair in those dark eyes. Hit it again. With a loud bang. Hit hard enough to explode into a shower of crimson fragments. Immortal worms don't know pain. It's just a matter of borrowing the body to start moving. Frantically trying to attack you. But, it's completely useless. Your next move is heavy. And maintaining a rapid pace. Because the acceleration has increased speed and agility. Avoiding attacks is even lighter and easier. Immortal worms only need divine essence to linger and can be reborn. But in such a rapid offensive, survival speed is hard to avoid. A big guy like you won't die easily but will be torn apart. One last hit. It's already powerless. Fell to the ground. Turned into a pile of 7 or 8 pieces of minced meat. You know, what are you afraid of? It's still not dead. But wants to recover its mobility. At least it's a situation from a few years later. You hit the immortal worm and it didn't die. Congratulations, The main character has gained 975 W energy value. Jure quite satisfied. Juron 2 W energy value has been gained. The quality of the beef is indeed top-notch. The 2 guardian beasts nearby are not as self-sufficient. The 6-winged insect is below. There are some falling creatures climbing around you. Even the green eagle giant insect is similarly clumsy, leaving behind a drop of blood that the immortal worm left. You have some unresolved issues. Only seeing the 6-winged insect and the green eagle. The giant insect finally landed. Like it's on a path. The guardian beasts and the tomb raider's heart are connected. You immediately understand. Originally, they were in a state of chaos, unable to protect themselves. Letting oneself out. You laughed. Grabbing the second person's head. No need to worry too much. You all did well. I just want to test my own strength. The second person said. There was no immediate response. But it wasn't too late to notice you. It's certain that your expression hasn't been displeased. Only then did I feel relieved. Moving closer to you. This place has been completely searched. You turned your body. Correctly wanting to leave. Suddenly, a box rolled out from the immortal worm's body. You followed the motion towards that object. This is a box made of green copper. Seeing it is from the immortal worm's body. Your heart felt a twinge. A fist smashed the box. Your light flashed past those small objects. Sliding to a black insect. Suddenly jumped out to warn. Discover the special signal. Blue jade ancient insect. Type. Strengthening system. Pieces of the tomb will give birth to life force. Progress speed will reverse. Strange materials. A small insect can optimize the airflow. It's truly a skill that terrifies people. Rebirth. The 2 guardian beasts felt this jade insect's power. Surrounded by it. Your face was full of excitement. You placed the jade insect before the second person. Left and right were both alert. They couldn't take their eyes off the jade insect. The body doesn't obey the whims of the mind. It's reminiscent of the time I was by the roadside chasing a cat. Though bad the cat you raised isn't that strong. They all died way too quickly. The system doesn't manifest at the right time. ENG give you a good kick. But you shouldn't say that. With this thing, it's definitely going to be convenient. Jure quite satisfied with it. A message suddenly appeared right in front of his eyes. Because of a special detector. Jube already activated a special task. Searching for the electric worm. Price. 200,000 air quality points. Divine level treasure asterisco 1. Look at another message. You have some fears in your heart. 200,000 air quality points and divine level treasure. No matter which one. It's extremely powerful. Even more so. A is currently facing the electric worm, ready to act. These 2 are all purchases. Come to the right place. Currently. The goal is clear. Hot body complete. It's also time to take a look at this. I myself have been living in this many sheep wolves residence. The 2 Yuan big general in the tomb master. The old man won't die, and the lonely child has already been beaten. This tomb master doesn't calculate well. It's good that he can withstand the wind. Again, electric worm. This person wants the treasure. A must. Don't rush, don't panic. You seem to be walking at home. Past the wormhole. Bang him, 2 little things are lined up. Following the same direction. But still because of the body type. It's hard to avoid falling into the wormhole. In front of you, you just left. They also just barely reached the entrance. Just prepared to go. A few years young have been caught by the old man. Waiting. Don't be so reckless. Even if you bring poison-proof face masks, it still feels a bit uneasy. The poison gas accumulation inside is quite large. So do a good heart preparation. Remember. Tightly following the person in front. 1,000 miles can't be scattered. They heard countless warnings from the nearby wormhole. Before reaching the entrance. Alar tightened to the limit. Recognizing the point. I come to walk in front. You guys, a few little kids are following closely behind. The old man is not equal to a few people. Stretching out to walk in front. Not yet a few steps, he has already stopped. A is sure he didn't make a mistake. How could he possibly make a mistake? This is to mess up your own eyes. But at this time, there is no gas in front. A still doesn't know. Not long ago, just opened. The poison gas dissipating is a mess. Already carrying his own group of little things. Past the tomb master. At this time, standing in front of the Lingyun Palace. Discovering the new situation in front of the Lingyun Palace. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1W air quality points. Lingyun Palace. Flying like a fairy. This palace has indeed been repaired. Compared to the Lingyun Palace, this name. The tomb master indeed can do divine dreams. Building quality is also not bad. It should be possible. You also quite want to be in your own tomb. Miss up a Lingyun palace like this. One side thinks like this. A opened the market. Saw it at a glance. The ice-clad palace has already been unlocked. A detailed introduction. Below, a few large characters are written. Exchange for 10 vatios gas value. You chuckle in your heart. That's still something. In the current stage, you can't have that much gas value to catch up. These flowers are like the flowers of Huangde. Just think about it again later. Just don't know when that will be. A exited the merchant city. Look again at the ice-clad palace. Currently, there's no way to move the ice-clad palace back. That can't be used to give the east and west of it. Thinking like this. A lightly took a step. Conveniently crossed to the entrance of the ice-clad palace. Entering for the first time. A saw a large bronze statue. The form of the statue is very imposing. A strong aura carries an ancient pine. Discovering the ritual used by the bronze statue. Recoverable for 1000 gas value. Is it recoverable? Look again at the flower pot beside. Also a reminder. Discovering the yellow flower peach pit. Recoverable for 200 gas value. Is it recoverable? Just like this. A step down. The ice-clad palace was sold for 778. Only left with an empty palace. You see your own value. Increased to batyo gas value. A heart full of satisfaction. Increased to the reward received from the ice-clad palace. Already arranged for 2 vatios. The backside doesn't know how many good treasures are left. This morning has a relation to this morning's drunkenness. Currently has money, currently spends. You don't say. Open the merchant city page. The light vehicle reached the living thing. Don't hesitate to buy a few pairs of double-winged moths. The host checked is not the first time to exchange double-winged moths. Triggered increase. Same type of living thing evolves. That living thing will automatically change strength after the exchange. No need for external support to evolve. There is a leadership's good place, convenient management. You don't need to worry. The child will grow slowly. This strong self-management awareness. Increase to the previous increase of that blue jade moth. Convenient. In the closed page for a moment. The page and the next one. The point of transformation appears at the side of the 6-winged moth. Between the blinking eyes. A few are smaller than its body shape. A half of the double-winged moth is still asleep. The 6-winged moth shows up unexpectedly. It's like preparing well, generally producing a low-level bird. As a response. Also a few double-winged moths. The same frequency bird called out a sound. Finally, they all bowed down in front of you. You are satisfied with the point. Suddenly, the small green moth at the side used a finger to point at his finger. Is still returning to the head. You follow the small green self-light. Cease. A red-colored abnormal female robe hanging on the room beam. There is a low hat. Long-headed. Counting on the clothes. It just seems to be moving. Kill human skin puppet. Mantis can recover 1500 gas value. Hehe. At this moment, the human skin suddenly lunges from the wooden beam towards you. At the same time, it bursts forth from beneath its clothing. A large black worm with a head like a fist. Ha ha ha. In the air, a woman's laugh echoes again. You can hear the sound of bones cracking. And then, it's just a fleeting moment of your eyes blinking. A 6-winged insect flutters down beside you. Directly, that insect flies to the wall. A voice trembles. It directly explodes. In the air, there are still no human skins falling down. Some dances. You want to retreat. Crass. The result of the struggle is that it hangs on the wall. It has landed. This is a disgusting face with some malicious features. Now it has been caught. It appears even more wolfish. But it doesn't dare to hide. It will definitely twist itself up. 2 large garments are in front. It looks like it is in a trance. The human skin is in a state of being able to be collected. Is it possible to collect it and set it as a guardian beast? The human skin. Lengths, 2 meters. The dead are about to be born after being fed by the worm. The skin and head are peeling off. It has a sense of awareness. Attack power is low. It is not great. Can it be used to set up a trap inside? By the worm's call. Controlled by the worm. Malicious and also maliciously flavored. Screaming or allowing it to be used. The system has already said everything you want to say. This playful child face is really too exaggerated. But it mustn't be said. Yost saw this thing attacking itself. Even it lost its mind for a moment. Like a non-human. And extremely bizarre. This is the horror valley effect in the rumor. To what extent? The most terrifying is still this kind of ghostly creature. Compared to the 6-winged insect, this kind of thing brings a sense of pressure. Just now this thing brought even more direct. That human skin is connected to the ground. Struggling to move. It want to look at you. Looking like it wants to express gratitude to you. But this face looks really like a dead body. Ju, lean your head. Don't want to look directly. Randomly come someone. Grab chair. Yost, prepare to take her back. Yost now just called out a pair of 6-winged insects in front. Understand the situation and let this skin monster rise. Her pale face clearly shows no fear. But also doesn't dare to speak. Afraid that in the next second will be directly eaten. Walk out of the cloudy palace no more than a few steps. Then go down. It I eat at the dragon's eye. Eats the tomb king's tomb. Now there is a strange body quality. Also don't have to worry about the wall. You directly a bird's nest. Yost from the cloud above a dive. Grass. Far away. Yost enter the inner part of the cave. You all have heard this side seems to have some sound. Already past the original cave. The area where the worm speaks may have poison. They a few that are also not touched. The original still hints at some kind of danger. People below are starting to feel uneasy. The fat guy is directly in front. Facing the intruder, he tenses up. Old Jan is with him. Jure also looking for trouble. Take a look. So, are you saying he should understand? The closed-off country must not be underestimated. Think about it. Ju can't just waltz in here. Ju still don't know that this kid has already become this kind of monster. In a year, Jueje be taking a pair of poison pills. These kid won't they even give a decade of great wind a chance to blow. Chin Yulo can't bear to listen to him ramble. A opened his hand. The old guard keeps a watchful eye ahead. But in his heart, he also feels some unease. It's hard to say due to the time connection. This poison really has dispersed. Nearby, a fat guy took a hit on the back of his head. Hey, bats with that mouth of yours. The poison dispersing is a good thing, Heat. You can't let it out like this. Old who says it makes sense. Being able to get through is a good thing. Used a bit more patience. Suelijang looks at Chin Julo's troubled heart. And also follows up with a line. The fat guy has lost his mind. You guys are this couple. One sings, one responds. Still, it's really going to be said. Blam me, this kid is just a person. The enemy is no more than 2 mouths. Go, go, go. Don't talk nonsense. Jure just messing with me. Don't be in this kid's way. Ubai took a step back. And another shove at the fat guy's back. Still, he said with a hint of disdain. But in his heart, he still feels a bit uneasy. A is extremely clear. Suelijang has no interest in herself. It's just because of the pressure that he's with him. She likes that kind of flashy man. The fat guy can't see that much. Continuously, is doing a flashy dance. At this moment, Chinjulo suddenly stopped. This is the mountain god temple. Suelijang looks at the giant palace in front. Lightly asking. This kid seems to be coming for something. The fat guy also knows he shouldn't they continue to make a fuss. In front of the temple, many vines are entangled. But the old guard can see it's a temple. And also, during the week, there is no sign of a collapse. They already climbed up to the mountain god temple. Carefully checking one after another. They can already feel the surrounding air is breathable. The toxin barrier has been broken down. Among them, the fat guy is the most impatient. It's already dead. This big face is just this big. Use this little bit of surface. It really is not worth it. Ubai is just a little bit. And then up to Chinjulo. This kid is Suelijang and is looking at this god. This is which door's entrance. How long has it been since Sang's side has been with the night watch? Ubai looks at the door's seal. Is pulled it down. Chinjulo has not turned back. Already heading towards the mountain god temple's inner side. Ancient people must have something. Control him. Look back at him. They already started to go up. This old man's timing is not right. This kid seems still quite energetic. Walking to the mountain god temple's peak. It's a 9-headed snake carved from stone. Referencing the 10-6 character in the whirlpool. Chinjulo is preparing to take a shot. Following the sound of a faint echo. A few people are looking for a way out. At the stone wall behind the guardian beast. Found a path that suddenly opened. Entering the path. Only a few steps. Walking on the path ahead, a few people. The heavy atmosphere has stopped the footsteps. Lito Leart. There is east and west ahead. This fat guy completely doesn't trust. What east and west? Give me a break. Don't mess with any construction. Let the fat guy come and take care of everything. On the main road established by the society. Chinjulo suddenly broke off. Eldim. What is it? That heavy atmosphere described a lot. Chinjulo is busy on the path. It's bad. This is a widow. Quickly get on the machine. This kind of east and west will live on. Barra diagonal 2. Quickly give him a shock. Fast. SHH. It's already late. In the path, a cry has already echoed. It's time. Everyone's white hair is standing up. A few people from the tomb are standing up. On the other side, Chen Yulo and the fat guy are holding tight. In an instant, going around. Qianhe device 4 places. The surrounding cries don't stop. Hearing the heart directly feels uncomfortable. The sound has gone through the path countless times. Can't find the source. Just let people feel the head is dizzy. One time. Surrounded by danger. Chen Yulo suddenly gave a command. Don't care that much. First, let this guy who hasn't woken up get killed. Run away. The voice just fell. In a few tombs following, A grabbed the guy and started running. The handheld device hasn't stopped. The light will illuminate the entire path. A way to run. The widow's life force is stronger than expected. A few were hit after being shot. Among them, one is hard to catch. The snow-white clothes have been torn. Finally stopped. A few people said there were many wolves. Also don't know how far they ran. The girl in the path suddenly stopped crying. This girl, they have already reached the end of the path. Everyone is panting. In front is a passage. The surrounding area is unknown for what has collapsed. Like being caught by some huge thing. Looking out, this path should be quite narrow. Chen Yulo said what is the most experienced. Gasping for breath. Chen Yulo's hands are on the edge. Panting. We are calculating that it's to lose that toy. Chen Yulo looks at the face, not much. He lowered his voice. No, these toys should be afraid. They are actually afraid. What for? Control that much. They stopped moving forward. That means it's safe up ahead. Fatty is acting all cheerful. It stood up and brushed off his clothes. It went to look at the entrance of the sunflower. Chen Yulo didn't retort. Fatty's point has some logic. Or rather, if this isn't the real thing, the real thing will be even more terrifying. Up ahead, even these phantoms. Don't dare provoke those terrifying entities. Carving. Several people stood up, continuing to move forward. Fatty is the one leading the charge. Now, with his big, boisterous personality, he dares to go to the very front. But after stepping into the sunflower's entrance, not even a few steps in, he muttered under his breath. Lie down. The rest of the people immediately became alert again. They quickly followed him. The scene before their eyes stunned everyone. He hid. Countless solitary phantoms. After surviving that difficult attack just now, seeing such a scene again, it's hard not to feel a sense of dread. They went forward to investigate the situation. The more they looked, the more they felt a sense of unease. The sounds of evil spirits, roars were incessant in their ears. The previously difficult phantoms now looked like mud. Their bodies were covered with traces of being bitten by some creatures. Some were even left with only limbs. In other words, there were more solitary phantoms killed than this entire pit. This scene was almost a massacre. Ubaidi and Shirley Jiang. The few of them looked at these corpses. Their brows furrowed tighter and tighter. Their faces were filled with sorrow and gloom. Chen Yulo was shocked. He began searching everywhere for clues that caused all this. However, he immediately found from the ground fragments of some kind of insect. He carefully examined the carving. He sensed that this thing was somewhat familiar. These is the shell fragments of the 6-winged cicada. You guys come and take a look. The few bewildered people gathered around. When the few from the King Xian's tomb saw Chen Yulo's toy, his expression clearly changed. It condensed into a lot. Ubai noticed their strangeness. He tentatively asked, "What kind of shell is this? Do you recognize it? What is there to recognize? Back when we were at Lingyun Palace, we almost died because of this toy." Chen Yulo's expression was reminiscing. Among them, there was also a thread of fear. Fatty looked at the atmosphere, which had turned grim. He twitched his lips. I still want to laugh. It's not that bad, is it? How is this not just an insect? We come so far now. No, back then, we, King Xian's tomb and mountain moving. The two major sects collaborated to go to Lingyun Palace. Didn't they? We almost die because of this toy. If it weren't for the angry chicken, Chen Yulo survived for so many years. Telling stories is also part of his life. Slowly, he recounted the events of that year. Ubai and the others listened from the side, their lips slightly pursed. They had only heard rumors about the events of that year. Now, hearing it directly from someone involved was quite shocking. Fatty swallowed his saliva. So the 6-winged cicada is that fierce. If it really appeared, we're still alive. Or should we just get out of here? No, I'm not leaving. He will obtain the phoenix gallbladder bead. At this moment, Shirley Young suddenly stood up. She shouted accusingly. Otherwise, I'll be cursed now. If I can't find the phoenix gallbladder bead, my blood will coagulate and I will die from illness. It's better to fight you to the death now with the monsters in the tomb. After she finished speaking, everyone fell silent. The atmosphere became somewhat chilling. Finally, Chin Julo coughed twice. Sis right. Why don't we try to move forward? We might not encounter such a situation again. The most authoritative and experienced person spoke up. The remaining few naturally didn't object. They continued to move forward. Not long after, they passed through a petrified forest and dead floating objects on the water surface. Everyone found a very strange stone platform. Looking at its appearance, it seemed to be used for sacrifices. The entire platform was covered with strange reliefs. The things painted on this sacrificial altar look somewhat familiar. It's like what we saw in the temple outside. Everyone gathered around to take a look. Ubay followed their lead and explains these. The customs of the minority tribes during sacrifices. I'm guessing. They say black-furred monsters wearing golden masks. Are their mountain gods. They say are used for sacrifices. The solitary figures and dead floating objects we just saw are essentially food for the mountain gods. What do you mean? The six-winged mantis might be the mountain god here. Sirley Young touched her chin and asked. Chin Julo nodded slightly. It's not impossible. The worship of ancient people was mostly based on fear. It's normal for the specific forms to differ. Let's discuss it. A few people decided to go deeper inside. They'll find its origin. On the other hand, Ju brought a pile of treasures. Prepared to go to the bottom of the lake. The green turtle giant crab was extremely diligent. It rushed to your front. It actively lowered its body, inviting you to sit on it to the bottom of the lake. The six-winged mantis on the side was not pleased. Its abdomen emitted bursts of low growls, and the unique chirping sound of the insect. The double wings on its back. The mantis also let out the same sound. The insects were aggressive. The green turtle giant crab nearby could only reluctantly dodge. It could only reluctantly dodge. The six-winged mantis flew to your front. It lowered its head and made an invitation. The oppressed green turtle giant crab also did not get angry. It immediately plunged into the water. It's clearing the way for you. Looking at the way these two little fellows competed for treasures, Ju were momentarily stunned. Very quickly, the path ahead could be said to be unimpeded. However, just as a stone door appeared before them. This stone door opened. King Xian's tomb is nearby. Ju excitedly licked your lips. Phoenix Galblad der Beat. It was as if it was already within your grasp. Just as your hand had not yet touched the stone door, a voice came from within the door. Who goes there? Boldly, the king's shadow slumbers. Who would have thought? King Xian is actually a host who's willing to open the heavens and speak nonsense. Then this is perfect. Jure also willing to pay the price. After all, as long as I can get the phoenix gallbladder bead. It's even better if it costs no effort. Ace stood before the stone gate. Not humble, not arrogant. Previous life has been disturbed. I am your new neighbor. I heard you have some phoenix gallbladder beads here. I find those things quite appealing. I wonder if you could give them to me. His voice trailed off. There was no reply from within the tomb. You think what you said wasn't clear enough? Let me clarify. Rest assured. As long as you hand over the phoenix gallbladder bead, I certainly won't lay a hand on you. You can continue to sleep for as long as you wish. I won't take anything else from you. What kind of nonsense are you spouting? Bullshit. What kind of wild spirit dares to dare to disturb this divine being? Fussing King Xian, I can no longer hold back. A roar of anger. I am the king of the desolate kingdom. I've been waiting here for thousands, no, hundreds of years. In my past life, I was even more glorious and wealthy. Abundant achievements, great deeds. Based on this alone, you dare to issue orders to me. I let out a cold laugh. Is that all you have to show for your achievements? Do you think I don't know how much you've harmed your own people? You didn't even spare your own clan. How many of those nobles in Lingyun Palace met a tragic end? You must know this, right? King Xian's words were full of arrogance. Go die for his great cause. That was their unparalleled glory. HMPH, HMPH. This game is truly shameless. That's why I say, I'm not afraid of moving their entire clan out of here now. You won't feel any regret at all. What kind of arrogance is this? No wonder everyone wants to snatch you. This is what they call retribution. King Xian was already extremely impatient. His tone grew heavier. Every word, every sentence. I'm already tired of talking to you. What do you, a mere mortal, understand? Just shut up and say one more word. And I'll have your tomb dug up. Ju, you. A faint smile on his face. This is what you said. This is what you said. You yourself are shameless. His voice trailed off. 122. He leaped from the six-winged cicada's body, and landed directly before the stone gate. Scarav. even the tomb entrance. King Xianante even finished speaking. It suddenly threw a punch, charging straight at the stone gate. Crack! The heavy stone gate echoed with a shattering sound. Back with one punch, it turned into several pieces of rubble. King Xian's voice was filled with rage. Ju, you scarab. Are they truly asking for death? His voice trailed off. Ju hear a strange sound coming from within the tomb. Like some kind of musical instrument. But there was no melody. It only made one's heart feel restless and chaotic. Ju must be saying. It sounds like discordant babbling. Lasted for about half a minute. That peculiar tone ceased. King Xian chuckled. A lone spectre. A lowly commoner. Now, just wait for death here. Ju remained silent. A cold smile played on your lips. This fool can only cling on for this moment. He should soon realize. His child soldiers are all gone. Opened the stone tomb door. Inside lies the Three Lives Bridge. Scanned this place. System initiated an introduction. Three Lives Bridge. Attribute. Quality. Normal. Passing the Three Lives Bridge. The Mortal Path. Legend says it helps the deceased become immortals after death, a tomb decoration. A tempting, alluring phantom. But it doesn't help one become an immortal. That's superstition. After purchasing, the tomb owner can change its style according to preference. Next season's cosmetic. A common phantom. A is not a common phantom. Ju walked straight across the Three Lives Bridge. Felt like a slight breeze brushed past your face. Except for being a bit cold. Nothing felt wrong. Used this. Showy but insubstantial. As you take each step, you get closer. Qin Xian finally realized something was amiss. It had clearly issued the command. Why haven't those insects responded? This is his secret weapon, crafted with great effort. It couldn't possibly defy his will. They aren't responding to him. There can only be one possibility. They are all dead. Qin Xian was startled. His attention shifted to you. What exactly is this bag that suddenly appeared? Mountain. Ju, at this moment, are like a wave of surprise. Already broke through the door and entered. Bringing many younger brothers, starting the plunder. HMPH, you don't recognize me. Ju must pay the price. Occupied this place for so long. As the local landlord, you should also pay rent. Today, I will seize your dog-like lair. A smile on your lips. Light footsteps. Move all the things here for me. With a single command. Even the zombies began to move. Dragonfly wings broke through the walls. Directly pulled out a lantern. Discovered the lantern. Collecting Jill's gene energy. Collect. Yes. Several small zombie-like creatures huddled together. From the side, they brought up a shining jade vase. Discovered the jade vase. Collecting Jill's 200 gene energy. Collect. Yes. Washing your own family not along with every command. Suddenly, one item became empty. But it instantly became vacant and desolate. Qin Xian became enraged. Lubu. External object. Forcefully seize and plunder. What is a Hunsi? Ju let out a laugh. Look at this desolate room. Hunsi. What, Hunsi, are you talking to me about? Countless tomb raiders have been killed, yet they still seek the enlightened king. Ju, for your pathetic immortal path, have dragged your pregnant wife to her death. Taking the fetus from her womb to create an orphan. Even Lingyun Palace has its reasons. Ju were cooked into a noble ghost. And you still want to talk about gentlemanly conduct with me. Qin Xian's words were cold and arrogant. Purely for amusement. How amusing. You know the tricks of the connected. It's precisely why I can easily crush you. This bunch of ignorant commoners. Born without knowing how to advance. Obstructing my path to growth. Naturally, they are to be reasoned with. Is it that you can't bear to see them suffer? Truly unreasonable. A tyrant who cannot be reasoned with. HMPH. Cannot bear to see them suffer. He simply can't stand the sight of you. So many treasures in your hands. Hidden and displayed. Ju wouldn't even give me a single phoenix gallbladder bead. Petty. While saying that, he sped up his excavation of the throne. Qin Xian watched with impatience. But he had no way to deal with him. He slightly lowered his tone. But still clung to his so-called royal arrogance. Even if you excavate this place dry, Ju won't find the connected throne. Perhaps I should give you a way out. As long as you are willing to leave the tomb. I am willing to share this 3-jewel wind and water treasure with you. Ju revealed a thoughtful expression. His words were purely for amusement. 3-jewel wind and water treasure. It does have some thought behind it. Qin Xian relaxed his tone, thinking he could continue to persuade. But in the next second, your words took a sharp turn. It's just that, you think it's more comfortable living alone here. As for your throne, you only spoke halfway. Ju let out a cold laugh. Relying on memory, You charged towards the center of the tomb. It seemed to be the peak of the stone. Kim Xian immediately panicked. How could this brat know his position? But you didn't step forward immediately. You just turned left and right, hesitating. Your gaze was still scanning the surroundings. He must have just stumbled upon it by chance, trying to test his luck. But the old man's eyes weren't that easy to fool. Kim Xian comforted himself. But cold sweat was streaming down his back. He didn't see you were gathering your fist at all. After completely confirming the position, you suddenly stopped your steps. Crack. Al lado derecho. The white stone had completely shattered, revealing a human-shaped throne in the middle. Didn't I just show it to you? As the words fell, you grabbed King Xian's throne pillar and directly slammed him onto the ground. As the throne pillar hit the ground, King Xian finally realized the severity of the problem. He wailed in pain, struggling and unable to speak. You thought correctly. The person who defies the king is doomed to perish. Now, let go. What do you want? Whatever you want, I will give you. You sneered. SLN. His tone was completely devoid of emotion. He only spat out 3 words. Hey, Phoenix Galbladder beat, Mond. Kim Xian, who was struggling, has fallen silent. He is still struggling. Ha ha ha. Is already at death's door. Is still unwilling to give up the chance to become an immortal with that dog's gut. Truly laughable. No more chatter. Die in peace. There is no mercy in your eyes. Only to see him turn his fists into claws. One claw pierced through King Xian's spine, rubbing King Xian's head. Bloodline system activated. Tap them all to view stats. Rubbing King Xian's head. Bloodline system activated. Tap them all to view stats. Bloodline system activated. Tap them all to view stats. Lifting King Xian's corpse entirely. Lifting King Xian's entire body. Bloodline system activated. Tap them all to view stats. Bloodline system activated. Tap them all to view stats. A sweep of residual light. A sweep of residual light. The 6-winged centipede beside him is not to be trifled with. A bronze sword swiftly approached. You take it in your hand. Your hand moves, the knife falls. Without the slightest hesitation, King Xian's head falls to the ground. The furious roar stops. Only a pair of biting, gnashing curses remain. He will make you. He will make you. Pay. The true master will make you pay. True dragon bloodline. True dragon sacrifice. True dragon sacrifice. Pay the price. Dragon's will. Pay the price. Dragon's time. Noble dragon bloodline. True dragon bloodline. Through Phoenix bloodline your expression is blank. Through dragon bloodline true power your expression is blank. Bloodline, true power your expression is blank. Through dragon, your expression is blank. Kneeling bloodline. Through dragon bloodline kneeling dragon bloodline. Gently picked up the phoenix gallbladder bead from King Xian's mouth. True dragon bloodline. Gently picked up the phoenix gallbladder bead from King Xian's mouth. Bloodline. Base dragon bloodline. Gently picked up the phoenix gallbladder bead from King Xian's mouth. Bone dragon bloodline. Gently picked up the dust bead from King Xian's mouth. Gently picked up the dust bead from King Xian's mouth. Dragon's steamy. Gently picked up the dust bead from King Xian's mouth. Gently picked up the electric dust bead from King Xian's mouth. Said true dragon bloodline. The remaining head was casually tossed aside. The remaining head was casually tossed aside. Oma bloodline. The remaining head was casually tossed aside. Muscle bloodline. Through dragon brain the remaining head was casually tossed aside. The remaining head was casually tossed aside. True dragon bloodline. The remaining head was casually tossed aside. The remaining head was casually tossed aside. Through dragon bloodline the remaining head was casually tossed aside. The remaining head was casually tossed aside. The remaining head was casually tossed aside. Warm spit bloodline. Say belly bloodline warm spit bloodline. Don't know where it went. Warm spit bloodline. Don't know where it went. Phoenix bloodline warm spit bloodline. Don't know where it went Phoenix bloodline. Phoenix bloodline. Special mission Phoenix bloodline. Phoenix bloodline. Collect dust beads Phoenix bloodline. Collect electric dust beads. TY9. Completed. YZ. Reward. 200,000 Genie Divine Grade Treasure Chest asterisco 1. Juan. Released. Item. Please check and receive. Host. It's time to open the Divine Grade Treasure Chest. You're smiling. This Kim Xian. Get out with difficulty. But his strength is insufficient. However, it's like this. He never forces. Open the Divine Grade Treasure Chest. Is. The Tomb Master has obtained 975W shadow energy from the divine level treasure chest. The Tomb Master has obtained from the divine level treasure chest. Acquire the Phoenix Gallbladder bead for resource exchange. The bloodline system has been activated. Click on the merchant city to check the specific conditions. You have just switched to the merchant city. Bloodline is a powerful energy accumulation system. Unless you possess bloodline. During upgrades, possessing bloodline will have a half effect. Power can also gain quality flight. 10,000 creatures do not distinguish between high and low. That bloodline definitely determines your power limits. Jube finished the introduction. Take a look below. The marketplace can sell a lot of bloodline. All kinds of divine beasts, names and titles. Various levels of jade. He even saw the rumors of the 100 poisons not invading. He even saw the rumors of the 100 poisons not invading. He even saw the rumors of the 100 poisons not invading. Divine level jade. Song Cho thinks, let many people go. Let many people go. Let many people go. Let many people go. Divine level jade. Can allow people to live long with the phoenix blood. Divine level jade. And the phoenix gallbladder bead are ranked in comparison. The phoenix blood is more reliant on the location. You clicked on a phoenix blood marker. Phoenix blood. Phoenix blood fit AN. Phoenix blood 3 fles ya. Below LZ. Status fles. Already active fles TC9T. Already active fles 9T. Fles 9TTG. FLZ Product Quality H9T. Chiltian FL Kings Product Quality 9 de 107. Fles 9. Life Extreme Product Equivalent 9. FL Life The Extreme Product Equivalent 9 de 120. Tian Fles 5 de 77120. FL Strong Blood C9T. Strong Blood XFLES YNH9T. Strong Blood High Fles VT. And the name of the Phoenix Blood in the world does not match. Even in some aspects, it has stronger capabilities. Can assist bloodline carriers to evolve. Need a certain strength to carry high-level bloodline. Leaving things may not be strong enough. On the contrary, will encounter bloodline suppression and die. Desire to wear the Emperor's crown. Most carry it again. Juicy this introduction. Tangled and tangled. Quality flight. Also just say. The Green Eagle Giant Worm cannot evolve. The Green Eagle Giant cannot evolve. Initial level early, 6-winged species. The Green Eagle Giant cannot evolve. The Green Eagle Giant cannot evolve. The Green Standard Green Unique Giant Worm can be carried. Surrounding life. Initial level early. 6-winged busy. Green Female Worm. Green Giant Worm can be carried. Surrounding life. Initial level early. 6-winged busy. Green Female. Green Giant Worm can be carried. Surrounding is whether it can carry bloodline. Green Bright Fog. Green Bright Giant Ball can be carried. Surrounding is whether it can carry bloodline or whether it can carry bloodline. Surrounding is whether it can carry bloodline. There are giant balls that can be taught. Surrounding is whether it can carry bloodline. Surrounding is carrying bloodline. Surrounding is whether it can carry bloodline or whether it can carry bloodline. Surrounding is whether it can carry bloodline to whether it can carry fragrant bloodline. Surrounding life, initial level early, 6-winged busy. Whether it can carry bloodline can carry phoenix bloodline. Surrounding life, initial level early, 6-winged busy, green to whether it can carry bloodline can carry phoenix bloodline. Surrounding life, initial level early, 6-winged busy, green to whether it can carry bloodline can carry phoenix bloodline. Green eyes short, have to wear green female short, green can carry phoenix bloodline. Green female worm, green you laughed at carrying phoenix bloodline. Green male test does not know can carry. This test does not know can carry. When you are ready to continue operations. The system has also jumped out the second prompt. Detected that the Tomb Master has already activated the bloodline. Automatic activation of large-scale special tasks. Pass of the Immortal. Current progress. Slay or subdue large tombs 1x3. Reward. Divine Treasure Chest Asterisco 1. Another special mission. Just got some good stuff from the treasure chest. Another chance to plunder a treasure chest has arrived. This is too profitable. I looked at the mission twice. Every word, every sentence, mimes. Then closed the page. Continue the previous operation. After completing the copy, naturally, I need to level up and change gear quickly. This is a habit from your past life. Does the host confirm using the Phoenix Gallbladder? Yes. Scanning in progress. Scan complete. Surrounding life forms. Level 1 goal. 6-winged cicada. Azure-winged giant insect can carry the phoenix gallbladder. Use 15 vatios in energy to exchange for phoenix gallbladder asterisco 3. And grant compatible life forms. Seeing the word, goal. You hadn't even reacted yet when you said it was yourself. Exchange. The moment the button was pressed. The 3 items were materialized from the exchange page. The items materialized out of thin air, emitting a faint yellow glow. It looked quite peculiar. And carried a trace of indescribable divinity. This is the phoenix gallbladder. Ju felt a sense of wonder. But this phoenix gallbladder only has 3 drops. Although it's clearly very potent at first glance. But how can it become a part of their blood? Ju just thought of this question. The next second, the 3 drops of phoenix gallbladder began to slowly expand and stretch. The texture of this phoenix gallbladder is very subtle. It doesn't seem like a liquid. Rather, it's more like a peculiar cluster of light. Gradually growing into thin threads. Extending towards the 2 other creatures on your body. Seeing this strange scene, your 2 creatures felt a sense of fear. But they saw that you weren't resisting. They naturally didn't retreat either. Ju could feel the continuous stretching of light, expanding into a sphere around you. Early body constitution activation to intermediate, expanding into a sphere around you. Expanding into a sphere around you. Early body constitution activation to intermediate, expanding into a sphere around you. Early body constitution activation to intermediate. Body constitution activation to intermediate, occupying all of its vision. Completely occupying its vision. Body constitution activation to intermediate, occupying all of its vision. Completely occupying its vision. Early body constitution activation to intermediate. A warm aura. Intermediate body constitution activation, a warm aura. Intermediate body constitution activation. Intermediate body constitution activation, spreading through its dry blood vessels throughout the body. Intermediate body constitution activation. Intermediate body constitution activation, wrapped by this faint golden light. Wrapped by this faint golden light. Their limbs began to tense and resist. Gradually loosening up. Suddenly, the soft light threads gradually condensed. Forming a thin layer of film. Tightly attached to their bodies. The film grew thicker and thicker. Slowly turning into several giant cocoons. Cocoons. As if alive. Breathing in and out. As if inhaling and exhaling. The remaining 6-winged cicada and ghoul wandered around them. Clearly not understanding what had happened. It was as if about half a minute passed like this. The cocoons formed by the condensed light began to turn into dust. Slowly scattering in the air. Without a trace. Several figures reappear from the cocoons. They are noticeably taller than before. You open your eyes again. Several identical, faint golden notification windows pop up before your eyes. Notification windows emitting a faint golden light. Congratulations, host. 6-winged scorpion. Scorpion successfully evolved into a 6-winged sky scorpion. Congratulations, host. Green-scaled scorpion. Giant scorpion successfully evolved into a white jade scorpion. Congratulations, host. Phoenix bloodline activated. Initial stage. Mystic physique evolved to intermediate stage. True form evolved. His heart rejoiced. His heart rejoiced. GAN 77. Turning to look at SHRT3K. Turning to look. Turning to look at S3K. Turning to look at SR, GAN 3YC. Current GAN 31CT. The 6-winged scorpion's body is much larger than before. Dosan GAN 37CY. Not only that, GAN 31C. It grew another pair of wings on its back, YC. GAN 37. The black color all over its body is even purer. S. The black color all over its body is even purer. Chick. The black color all over its body is even purer. S. The black color all over its body is even purer. The 618S. The black color all over its body is even purer. The black color all over its body is even purer. The 1BS. The black color all over its body is even purer. SNT3TCI. Color like a divine phoenix. Sangan 37. Color like a divine phoenix. Color like a divine phoenix. There is another golden pattern between its cranial sutures. Like pupils. Its body is soaring. The foremost limbs have transformed into a pair of claws. Possessing the aura of a divine beast. Cal domineering. And on the other side, the green-scaled giant scorpion has completely changed its form. Although its body is smaller, its body has turned white. Like white jade. Its eyes shimmer with golden light. DB. Golden patterns can be seen on its edges. A divine aura emanates from it. Looking closely, Ju can see that with every flick of its tongue, a faint light appears around its mouth. It truly is a divine beast in essence. It's just that, after looking at the two tomb beasts, Ju can't help but wonder what form you are in now. Just now, when I just dug up King Xian's tomb, there were still some things left. The winged scorpions beside me are not ordinary. They brought a large bronze mirror. Ju glance at your reflection in the mirror. You have changed drastically compared to before. Your body is taller. Your muscles are well defined. Dragon-like complexion. Golden light glints within your dark eyes. Your hair behind your back is like ink. Although there is no expression on your face, it doesn't feel oppressive. Your skin also has more color than before. You look quite refined. It's just that the clothes on your body are now tattered. Extremely mismatched. Ju opened the shop. Randomly swipe. Found a black, gold-edged, dark-patterned deep-colored robe. No special attributes. But it looks very pleasing to the eye. The price is also not high. Your fingers lightly tap. In the blink of an eye, it materialized into clothing. It has already been put on you. Mountain. Lone Jade Peak. Peak. Black Mountain Black Peak. Face the cold mist. Peak. Starry Peak. Great Peak 1. In a moment, Ju mimicked the deity from the ancient era. Ju seemed quite satisfied. People rely on clothing and horses, and this phrase is indeed not wrong. Currently, the king has already died. Ju's grip is even tighter, no less than a fierce grip. Previously, I had already captured this child. Most of the obvious players are all sold out. But still, search and search again. Can still discover this old shadow. Achi, hidden in the corner are other treasures. It remembers this place's good things, which cannot be easily obtained. Ju walked to the front of the corner tree. This child. The corner metal still firmly holds the tightness in between. It is too lazy to manage this green metal tree. Can suppress its master. Naturally, it can also suppress him. Ju, show your hand. A light sketch of a model. Absolutely effortless. It is indeed from the corner tree that the metal is pushed down. Discover special indicators. Corner metal. Type, attack system. Through the water and wind learning hand movements. AC. The metal can be restricted in the morning direction. Only the corner and other types of movements can be effective. Usine can achieve unintended results. Take this corner and show yourself. Or it might also be a self-destructive method. Real product. Good things. This is also the first time to obtain an attack type indicator. Ju have completely learned the system's shadow monster. On the contrary, it accurately catches one of the messages. This corner metal connects itself. The level's corner can be used. Compared to the image, it still has effects. Not more, after taking it down. The corner metal does not have any response. Ju are calculating. It should be because the master has died. It also has no reason to be captured. Damn. Calculate it. Ju are coldly smiling. In general, it has passed half a cup of time. The indicator used is completely replaced. Ju start to feel some awkwardness. Detailed calculations. In this area, Linlin has also gained 5W shadow energy value. Currently, the total shadow energy value is 15W. Glad a bit more. This piece has obtained the corner metal. Electric worm. Blue jade worm. There are also rainbow poison pills and phoenix blood. Conveniently added a few pairs of double-winged worms. Damn, looking at it. The corner metal is indeed the path to wealth. Adding on, currently in this 3-product treasure land, the main person has already disappeared. He can also smoothly enter. Going down like this. He seemed to have a chance to become a fairy, which is not impossible. You calculate, and get angry. Suddenly, the small green worm at the edge has bitten its clothing. Look, at this time, other guardian beasts also have a terrifying appearance. Heading towards him. Surrounding 4 weeks, the white stone head in the room is in transformation. Changing to something like milk oil. The surface of the area begins to shift and change. The original tomb materials are being consumed. That empty space is gradually expanding. The kit has started to move. Ju are too slow. This is a forgotten place. This place is a tomb created using flesh and bone. Inside the tomb, there are still tomb guardians. After countless deaths, the accumulated death energy. The shadowy sun is a great disaster for the world. And this accumulated death energy has already. The kit has been severely disturbed by the shadowy sun's influence. It was disturbed after the influence. A place similar to a black pit. Naturally, a single hand can grab your collar. It broke his thoughts. Ju caught a glimpse. The surrounding 8 wings won't stop until they drop. Directly sever it in place. That hand is still in motion. More hands also emerge from the white stone head. I'll heading towards your location. Ju blinked. If it were an ordinary person, they would be stuck. It might never get out. Ju are neither anxious nor busy. The family is in sync. A single finger breaks another finger towards yourself. Just note. A is not an ordinary person. More can distance. Everyone can escape. A can also do it naturally. A even expects it. The kid is still accelerating slowly. But as long as the movement is complete, it's death. After that, you need to be able to mess around your own pit. That would be a disaster. At that time, external toxins. Inside the pit. Come to die. It wants to come and take a look at that tomb. The pit just started moving. You are too slow, looking at the whole area, it's peaceful. We see guarding beasts coming out. A big hand grabs. Another sight. They haven't gone far. On the road. Everyone is guessing. Even starting to study how to deal with the six-winged beast. Just note, the more you study, the more you are scared. The fat man can't stand this kind of atmosphere. It heard half a sound, and it was basically impossible to have a result after. It heard half a sound, and it was basically impossible to have a result after. It heard half a sound, and it was basically impossible to have a result after. It heard half a sound, and it was basically impossible to have a result after. It heard half a sound, and it was basically impossible to have a result after. It heard half a sound, and it was basically impossible to have a result after. A loud shout. You guys, so many. Where did so many things come from? This action is not really a plan. It's not a big deal. In front of the fat man's power. Every demon is an old tiger. What for it? What is that? At this time, the fat man suddenly turned pale, pointing in one direction. Say, everyone is completely calm. Looking at the direction he pointed. That east. Why does it look like the mountain god in that mural? A few people say. Originally, it was not fast to move, now it has stopped. Golden mask. Green copper armor. The mound is on the edge. It looks like that wall painting is indeed that side's pattern. It's just not for what is currently hovering on one side. A motionless motion. A crowd walks ahead. Maintain a certain distance. Start investigating in front of this mound. It seems to be a big creature. Fatty walks ahead. Surrounded by equipment and leftover armor, walked in a circle. Say, this is indeed similar to the mountain god in the wall painting. Especially this golden mask. It's just that the wall painting's black hair kind of thing hasn't been seen. Who exactly came back once? Chen Julo finished carving and said. This a few minority ethnic groups dominate the area. Most of the images around are symbolic. That wall painting is so ancient. It should only be based on certain characteristics to paint according to standardization. Perhaps this is just a kind of insect-like thing. Its surrounding body is too much for us to see as hair. Snow Lotus also checked a series ahead. But it shook its head. Nope, right. This is not an insect. The armor is not the same. And you guys are looking. This playful child left behind the body still lives on. According to Chin Julo's previous statement, that six-winged insect should rely on the inner core. The situation is not the same. Look at her revived expression. Ubaidi guessed she should look out for something. So you realize this mountain god is what? This is just a guess. This could be a creature known as the immortal insect. It is an ancient organism. Listening to Snow Lotus introduce a series of immortal insects. Chin Julo pointed at the head. This thing I also heard. The surrounding environment is humid. It indeed adapts to its lifespan. Just note, if this kind of organism is the mountain god of this place. 3. How could it sit in this child? Fatty grabbed the head. What is this? A is the mountain god of this area. People love to ask which child is which. People may be the local lord. Sign it's not certain, it's just entering a resting period. A is a few not as good as the current child. Leave it far behind. Ubai at this moment shook his head. Note, no pride. Due detail to see. There are many broken pieces of jade on her body. This is not a common rest. This is a serious injury in this child. Just not moving. This word comes out. Everyone is silent. Fatty's mouth corner pulled down. You can't just shout at people, Olu. A is a family member who does not work. A million people are just not small-hearted. This word you yourself heard the latter. Ubaidi glanced at him. Fatty is a bit fat. The atmosphere has some fluctuations. That I definitely can't believe what you guys say. This area's mountain god is not a six-winged insect. But in front of this one already. Was hit by the immortal insect. 2 huge monsters. This is too shocking. A just finished. On the edge a jade-like child suddenly walked over. Perhaps not less than 2. Sighing. A took out a piece of green jade. placid in front of the crowd. Chen Zhulo is not the one taking the initiative. Instead, he continues to study the immortal bug. Those who estimate the tomb have already questioned him. Sirlei Yang has already passed through the trap. Look to the left and right. This material and the fiber path. What I see looks like a certain kind of bug's trap. It's just that this body mass makes it hard for people to believe. This bug's activation code is several meters long. It's time. Everyone is silent. Alar is stunned. Can't say anything. What you think is? There are still 3 monsters in the field. Fatty One has already taken a deep breath. Inhales the air. 3 monsters are clawing at this point, digging into the flesh. These underground levels have already become a hindrance to this location. Right now, no one has any thoughts, and he laughs. Everyone has chosen silence. Not far away, there are still water sounds coming. Faintly, you can still hear a few voices, deep and muffled. It seems like it's a bug. Chen Zhulo has broken the silence of the crowd. It may not stop like this. You all are still thinking simply. Yost see. It points to the immortal bug that is protruding from the soft part. Speaking of, you all see. The sensation of meat in this place needs to be more intense. Also, the softness is quite a lot. This should be a long time since it has come out. But this is not a fatal disaster. Because it has already lived long enough. Some parts will not be the cause of death. This immortal bug's recovery ability can be dedicated to the attacks of these 2 monsters. It has reached another side. The immortal bug's green dragon scales behind, pointing to a place of destructive harm. You all come to see. This side's harm is completely different. It's from a certain kind of east-west strike. Powerful and huge. We've turned the meat below into fragments. The effect is more than the bug. A few people are observing in front. Indeed, as Chen Zhulo said, beneath the scales, there are a few similar bug harm points. But regardless of the scope, the power is even more terrifying. And it creates this kind of harm's monster. Spatially challenging to kill the powerful places. Almost fatal, and several are simultaneously against multiple places. Said to be a second kill. Said to be here. Everyone has already taken a deep breath. These terrifying monsters have encountered a sufficient threat. Here, it seems to be a trap. This is too terrifying. King Fatty has taken off the cold water. Pulling out a smile. Don't. It's all this kind of heavy-headed gas. He is working underground. Definitely can't self-destruct. You all think. I'll become this kind of posture. Said not to mention other monsters, they all fail. It carries a heart. Fatty One looks out. Trying to let the gas not be so tight. Following his words. Fatty One says it makes sense. We don't have to be so tight. The troops will come to take water to soil. Continuing to walk backward. There will definitely be bugs. Even if you all say this. Just a few of you. Can have less to hold. In the vicinity, a continuous silent trap suddenly opens. Leaving a few trapped people also following closely. They all call out a few eyes. Following closely to Chen Zhulo's front. Bow your head to him. Head bowed. This whole mess is really unlucky for us brothers, so greedy and afraid of death. This deal is truly ill-conceived. For the sake of our brothers who died before. And the treasures within King Xian's tomb, this great name. We also believe in your methods. That's why we followed you. But now, in this situation, whether we brothers can make it out alive is a problem. Several people buried their heads even lower. I really can't stand it. Let's just forget about it then, brothers. Life is precious. Let's just go back first. Chen Zhulo's face darkened. Don't speak rashly. The people who just said they were leaving have already lost half their numbers. If we lose them, this expedition will surely be even more dangerous. I really won't let these brothers risk their lives with him. But this time, it's already much better than before. I saw a glimmer of hope. The hope of obtaining the Phoenix gallbladder bead. The most desperate thing. Is hope that is fleeting. Chen Zhulo decided to gamble. What about you brothers? It's not that I don't want you to go. It's that we brothers have come this far. We haven't found anything, and we're still losing money and paying for it. You really can't figure it out. How about this? If we brothers can get out, you can take 2/10 of our share. The Shelling sect members heard the words and started whispering. Chen Zhulo added another sentence. I'm afraid we won't be able to get out. You have wives and children waiting for you. You will also find someone to make arrangements for you. Supporting them for a lifetime is not a big deal. The one who has always been by Chen Zhulo's side. That Shelling member looks like their leader. Also spoke up at this moment. Head bad, you're right. We may all come this far. Where is there a way back? What do you brothers think? We have to make a name for ourselves. Head bowed, I'm willing to cut ties. We brothers can't afford to lose face. We can't leave. Several people heard this. They looked at each other. The sound of swallowing water from their throats could be heard by everyone. Head bowed. What you said makes sense. It's not that I'm afraid of having no one to support in old age. Where would we brothers find wives and children? It's that we brothers are lost. It's really embarrassing. No mistake, considering this trip. There is still the debt from over 10 years ago. We can't get the Phoenix gallbladder bead. We just have to rob King Xian's tomb. It's not reassuring. These monsters, no matter how terrifying they are. We brothers are not vegetarians. We's family by our side, we shouldn't be afraid. Chen Zhulo nodded. His expression showed some emotion. Let's go. We go forward first. The shelling members at the front turned around. Leading the crowd, they continued forward. What was just said was indeed the truth. But those who heard it understood. They were still afraid. The cold sweat on their faces hadn't stopped. Weebei walked about a few hundred meters. Weebei reached the edge again. A tomb wall appeared before our eyes once more. The person at the very front of the shelling group was the most observant. Immediately saw the skeleton hanging above. Reached out his hand. We saw a sweep of his saber. As if this could prove my innocence. Muttered in a low voice. This damn thing. Melistis. The corpse worm let out a long cry. Falling to the ground. A chill emanated from the protagonist's back of the head. Piercing the heavens. Detected. Host's tomb guardian corpse count 1. Assassins dispatched. Shelling sect. The protagonist frowned. He really hated people from the shelling sect before. And judging by the time. He estimated it's precisely Baiji and his group arriving outside the tomb. These two must have teamed up. HMPH. These people are quite ignorant. Before the shelling sect people, without exception, dug up their own graves. Killed those intruders. It was also for self-preservation. Furthermore. Along this path. He cleared so many major annoyances for them. He fear it's just being convenient. It can also be considered a contribution. Now, these people are seeking revenge. They actually killed my corpse worms. Shameless grave robbers. Host, your current actions and grave robbing are comparable. There is no difference. Killing. Looting. Compared to grave robbers, you only take the most. Valuable items. The protagonist was not surprised. He calmly mused internally. Grave robbing is stealing things from the living to give to the dead. They are rich and noble, beyond compare. A dead person, taking things from dead people. It's like taking things from my own home. That's the problem. The system was questioned by him, unsure how to respond. A question of the system. The protagonist's mind twitched. Direct command. The swarm of external corpse guardians stirred. Block the intruders. I am coming right away. It's time to let them know who they've provoked. The corpse worms receiving the message flew up one after another. Like a dark cloud. They gradually gathered at the tomb entrance. The protagonist wasn't idle either. He got up and hurried over. All these approaching people are high-level tomb robbers. The corpse worms alone might not be able to stop Ubaidi. At this moment, on the other side, a few scattered corpse worms clinging to the wall had already been killed by the shelling Yancy. Ubaidi originally intended to step forward and stop them. But a few people moved too fast. But in an instant, all the corpses were dead. Estrange. Every time a corpse was killed, his inexplicable anxiety increased by a point. But by the end, the last one was lying on the ground next to Ubaidi. Nothing happened. Ubaidi thought. Perhaps I was overthinking it. At this time, Chen Zhulo suddenly heard movement from afar. Everyone took defensive positions. Bats coming. It's flying. The speed is very fast. Those Dancy immediately stopped their actions. They surrounded Chen Zhulo to protect him. Ubai and his group also drew their guns. Their hands were on their triggers. The light from the guns flashed everywhere. Wary of the surroundings. The surroundings suddenly became extremely quiet. Only the sound of flowing water remained. Hiss. A sharp cry shattered the silence. It pierced the air and fell, landing in everyone's ears. Instantly, everyone broke out in goosebumps. This sound, when heard, was like some kind of insect. Someone whispered, "What is that?" The few people who had just dealt with the zombies were terrified. Could it be that we've angered the zombie swarm? Fatti's voice trembled slightly. He uttered this sentence. Everyone around was covered in a chill. Chen Zhulo pursed his lips. It was about to tell the few people not to speak carelessly. Suddenly, a fierce wind erupted from the tunnel, carrying countless black particles and giant bat-like creatures with flapping wings. Everyone scrambled to dodge, falling to one side. At this moment, Ubaidi looked up. The indistinct black particles in front of him were all flapping zombie bats. Each one was the size of a fist. A zombie bat frenzy. Ubai's face turned pale. How can there be so many zombie bats? Fatty beside him finally understood. The swarm of black wind. It couldn't help but blurt out. What the hell? Hurry up and shoot. Chen Julo beside him was full of anxiety. He shone his flashlight towards those zombie bats. He shouted at the few stunned Tomb Raiders. Those people only reacted after hearing this. They quickly picked up the guns they had dropped on the ground. Regardless of the odds. They fired wildly into the air. No. How can we possibly finish them all? The sheer number is too overwhelming. Sirlei Young retreated, holding her gun. Shouting. That's right. This really isn't a solution. Ubai glanced at Fatty, who was not far away. He knew Fatty's firepower was the most ferocious. But now, the zombie swarm had turned its direction. Charging towards them. Gnashing their teeth. He stopped firing. He ran towards Fatty at top speed. His body was tense. But when he reached Fatty's back and drew his weapon, he couldn't help but curse twice. He shouted loudly. Fatty, cover me. ENG unleash a shockwave. Everyone, wait a moment, I'll quickly build a device. He said as he rummaged. He searched for something on the ground. He had already pulled out a grenade. However, what was astonishing was that these zombies seemed to understand human speech. They, who were originally scattered, continuously attacking everyone in a swarm, suddenly unified their attack lines, charging towards Ubaidi. Fatty whispered. Lay 'em back. Be careful, don't rush to throw the grenade. They're recharging at you. Carry and run. The individual combat power of these zombie bats is weak. But their numbers. Leave no doubt. It's a disaster. Ubai turned his head. And rolled over. Dodging the swarm of zombies that came rushing in. Just in time, Chinjulo and his men surrounded them. A few shilling disciples quickly surrounded him, protecting him from behind. While the shilling disciples held them off, Ubaidi scrambled back up, getting ready to reload. Chinjulo suddenly grabbed her wrist. The zombies are weak. You're playing with these toys. Much more effective than using a gun. Said. A small crossbow appeared on his wrist. He then flicked it towards the crossbow. As if activating a mechanism. The bolt was released instantly, and landed in Ubaiji's hand. Then he pulled a small sword from his body. The tip of the sword had been specially treated. These are the fire-tipped arrows we prepared. They ignite when exposed to wind. I can't see anything with my own eyes. No point wasting time. Jurei Young. You use it. Said. He placed the sword into Ubaiji's hand. Ubaiji didn't hesitate. 3, 5, 2. Prepare the arrows in the sleeves. Make sure this kid is well protected. Move it towards the center of the insect swarm. Immediately, Chen Jolo commanded. Those shilling disciples immediately stepped forward, making way for Ubaidi. Ubai was secretly pleased. Good thing Chen Jolo and his men followed. Otherwise, things would be much more troublesome. Ban! An arrow shot out. As it came into contact with the air, it successfully ignited. When it was close to the dense zombies, flames instantly erupted. Boom! The zombies began to form ranks. They started to fly around chaotically. The flames spread from 1 to 2. But in an instant, they were engulfed in flames, pursuing and attacking. Ubaiji's arrows kept flying. More and more zombies were ignited. Hiss! In the air, the zombies' screams were deafening. Some zombies were burning uncontrollably. They started flying towards the water. But the water here was lurking with danger. Was immortal worms, which feed on the host. Detected. Host's guardian beasts. Quantity 1. Intruder detected. Treasure hunters. Detected. Seeing the constant alerts flashing before his eyes. Your face turned paler and colder. Although the number of zombies lost is not even half. It was already furious. His mind raced. You coldly ordered. Temporarily retreat. You go first. Rally with the zombies and attack again. Time is short. The zombies, which were previously advancing, suddenly turned around. The swarm of dark, oppressive insects flew towards the path they came from. But in an instant, they all vanished. They had already been beaten down by the zombies. Sitting on the ground, the fatty panted heavily. He rubbed his butt and stood up, looking incredibly dejected. Damn it, old who, camera. Such power. They're scared. Why did they leave just like that? Ubaiji, you know how many corpse worms you've dealt with. And these bugs are quite orderly. Once they're ignited in the later stage, they'll tear themselves apart in the water. Evoid transmission. They definitely didn't leave because they thought they would lose. Although the firelight just now seemed quite grand. The number of corpse worms is still immense. What he burned was at most only 1/5. Chen Zhulo twitched his earlobe. His complexion is still very poor. There are so many of them. Let's go first. This matter isn't that simple. There are other things coming. This place is not safe. How many of us can afford to offend the master of this place? He haven't even touched a single artifact. How could I be facing such a curse? His temper must be explosive. Fatty grumbled. Extremely displeased. But he had already lifted his foot, ready to leave. You can talk less. Ubaidi hasn't they finished speaking. A giant white crab appeared in the sight of several people. The closest one is a tomb raider. It was bitten in one gulp. And flung into the air. Screech. I can't. Sound of something crashing into the water. The remaining people stared, dumbfounded. They watched as that person fell. They didn't even have time to cry out. It sank into the water. The height from which that person was flung up was 30 to 40 meters. Falling down or falling into mud makes no difference. It definitely didn't survive. The white crab turned its head. Its golden eyes looked at the stunned crowd. The corpse worms that had just dispersed reassembled. Tiger eyes glared. Looking at the remaining crowd. Ron, Ubaidi blurted out 2 words. Fatty was the first to run outside. If there are any tomb raiders. Seeing their brothers die before their eyes. Suddenly stopped moving. They froze on the spot. Ubaidi pulled Chen Zhulo a few steps outside. Seeing they weren't moving. It turned his head. His face showed panic. Hurry up and go. What are you waiting for? Die. Shaking his head. You guys go. Let a few of us brothers stay behind to delay them for a while. You guys hold on to the time. Go outside and blow up the tunnel. Go outside and blow up the tunnel. Go outside and blow up the tunnel. Sam. Little one, you can survive. You can survive. You can survive. When he said this, that tomb raider didn't even look back. His silhouette was resolute. How can this be? He clearly told you to come. Hadn't they finished speaking yet? The white crab once again lunged forward. Ubaidi, holding Chen Zhulo, couldn't help but struggle. It could only pull him outside. Shaking his head. Don't forget the promise you made earlier to take care of my wife. Carry and go. Gradually walking away. Chen Zhulo listened as these words gradually faded into the tunnel. His eyes, which had lost their pupils, began to shed tears. But now there's nothing he can do. He shoved a packet of explosives into Ubaidi's hand. Sighing. No time left. Hurry up. Blow up the tomb. You can see his struggle. But if he doesn't struggle now, everyone will be gone. He placed the explosives on the wall. Ready to pull the trigger. Hiss. Crack. A deafening roar. The wall suddenly exploded. Everyone trying to escape stumbled. Falling to the ground one after another. Looking up again. An 8-winged celestial insect rose into the air. Slowly opening and closing its lower wings. Chirp. Chirp. Hearing its low call. Chen Yulo's emotions became extremely agitated. Constantly retreating. Ubai was already too scared to move. He could only look up at this magnificent creature. Ka ka ka. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, a sharp laugh echoed from the sky. Twisting and turning within the tomb. Fatty, running at the front, looked up. He immediately saw the figure before him. A red figure appeared. A bad head. A body floating lightly. It was clearly an empty cave. Yet it was as if something was holding its feet. Just like this, suspended in midair. Suwa. Shake. Chirp chirp. Gav. Gav. It was already too terrified to speak. Unable to form coherent words. The human-faced demon laughed again. It began to dance in all directions. In an instant, it attacked from 3 sides. Everyone present despaired. Deathly silence. Surely Yang's head swayed. She was pulled to Ubaiji's side. 1 word, 1 sentence. A sentence came from the demon's eyes. Old. Oldu. Look at those 8-winged insects above. Is there something there? Look in the direction of her finger. Ubaiji. He couldn't believe his eyes, his voice trembling. That is a. I don't know. What is that? Definitely not wrong. Someone is sitting up there. The only remaining person from King Xian's lineage cried out. Almost meade. Ubai and the others could naturally see it was a person. Tall and standing. Sitting on the ground, with a nose and eyes. 4 limbs intact. What else could it be besides a person? But such a person clearly doesn't belong here. It beating on the head of an 8-winged celestial insect. Could King Xian's little old man truly have become an immortal? Ubaiji muttered inwardly. Before he could think too much, the 2 giant, ferocious claws of the celestial insect struck, scattering everyone. Chen Zhulo was hit so hard he slammed directly into the tomb wall. Spitting blood. Gasp. He painfully lifted his head, hearing footsteps approaching him. The protagonist descended before him, with the bearing of an emperor, grabbing his ankle, directly lifting him into midair. Chen Julo. Blame me if you must. You've dug too many damn tombs, haven't you? He muttered in a low voice. Chen Julo, the tomb raider, is very experienced. Though his eyes narrowed. But he couldn't guarantee there were no repercussions. The protagonist wouldn't give him this chance. Chen Julo tried to struggle twice. Completely unable to break free. He already knew in his heart. The situation was now set. He was facing death. He deeply regretted it. He shouldn't have, for those few Tomb Raider brothers who sacrificed themselves for the king's tomb, etc. etc. Those a few Tomb Raider brothers back then. Their deaths were because of the centipede. And just now, Shirley Young. Little Shirley said this was an 8-winged centipede. At that time, Chen Julo seemed to understand something. But it was too late. HMPH. The protagonist used a little force. Chen Julo's spine snapped. His hands dropped. He was thrown down powerlessly. And then tossed aside. Kill the protagonist. Now my mood is much better. A prompt also appeared before me. Congratulations, host, for killing a Tomb Raider leader. Chen Julo successfully unlocked skill night vision. Congratulations, host, for killing a Tomb Raider leader. Chen Julo, obtained reward. Minor divine artifact. Her expression was wooden as she lowered her head. The protagonist turned his head to look at Shirley Young, who was trembling beside him. At this moment, he was afraid he wouldn't cry. But his eyes turned red. His body trembled. A picture of delicate weakness. Light, convenient clothing for easy movement. When fighting the corpse puppet earlier, she got wet. A good figure, her curves hidden and revealed. If it were normal times, the protagonist would have been more tolerant of such a beauty. But now, since he had already acted, the protagonist would not hold back. Ubay and Fatty Wong were beaten. They ended up on the same side as Shirley Young. Several hundred meters away. They could only watch from afar as the protagonist walked towards Shirley Young. Anxious in his heart. But there was nothing they could do. Crack. A deafening roar. Suddenly, the tomb wall elsewhere shattered. Stones and debris flew everywhere. Roar, roar, roar. It's back again. Appearing with the sound were countless red flesh tendrils. Among them, the thickest few strands were like giant centipede legs spanning the tomb wall. And these few flesh tendrils eventually converged in the center. Something resembling a pillar. Or like roots. Ubaidi immediately recognized it. This was the giant tree worm they had seen in the great sacrifice tomb before. The red flesh tendrils writhed continuously, spreading outwards. But suddenly, the surroundings were covered in red patterns. That pillar was even more so, emitting waves of malice, yet also a strange, eerie aura. The sound from within was indistinct and hard to hear. HMPH. You thought you could kill me completely before. To Young, kid. Today, your life will be forfeit. Ju is near. You know King Xian, this old bastard, isn't easily cowed. Before, you blamed me for taking your artifact. Ju spoke of reason. Now, you've occupied the shell of your own. Great sacrifice, the blood corpse tree. Even your own subordinates can't escape. It seems you're far more wicked than I. You glance over. The crimson flesh tendrils are still expanding. And the trunk of the blood corpse tree has already been ground down. Who knows how far it's spread. It's barely left you a sliver of life. And now you've come all this way specifically to find your own trouble. King Xian, you're quite persistent. What else is there? Don't say so much. You, a lonely soul. Dare to disturb my slumber. Destroy my flesh. Steal my treasure. Block my path. Today, you will not leave alive. The words fall. Being the crystal pillar, the crimson flesh tendrils are like giant centipedes. They gather and intertwine. They rush towards you. Yet you show no fear. Your expression hasn't changed at all. Looking at the crystal pillar's eyes. As if gazing at a powerless stone head. King Xian is too confident. With the strength of the blood corpse tree. It's no different from the initial transformation. The 6-winged centipede back then was not much different from the current white jade centipede. The 6-winged sky centipede is on a completely different level. You don't open your mouth. You just silently sweep your gaze. The white jade centipede immediately understood your intention. Although its body is huge, its movements are exceptionally agile. In the blink of an eye, everyone couldn't even see clearly how the white jade centipede moved. It blocked in front of you. The white centipede's tail lightly swept. And the incoming crimson flesh tendrils were all swept into a clump. With a powerful strike, those flesh tendrils were severed. So Gwenson's time, crimson blood sprayed. But, not a single drop stained. The white jade centipede's snowy scales. From the crystal pillar came a scream of King Xian's agony. He's utterly enraged. Grinding his teeth. Every word, every moment. A lowly creature. How dare you be so presumptuous here? Amidst the echoing roars from the tomb. The white jade centipede and the six-winged sky centipede embraced each other. And fought the blood corpse tree as one. Do squint your eyes. And look with great interest towards the blood corpse tree. Admiring this great battle. He didn't notice at all that behind him, Sir Yang, who was feigning death, had been observing him for a long time. This is a life form whose behavior is similar to humans. She thought. Although she doesn't know his origin. And also. And these two strange creatures that just appeared, as well as those corpse spirits, seem to have some connection. But no matter what, since he is human, there should be a time to relax his vigilance. Sir Yang secretly calculated in her heart. Now is the time for chaos. Perhaps it's the best time for me to retreat. Ban. The next second, a severed limb, dripping with blood, just happened to land around you. Your body twitched. Ju dodged aside. At this moment, Sir Yang was right in his line of sight. Sir Yang crawled up. Silently, she prepared to run to the side. But, she had just stood up. What? Wait, did I let you go? Following the voice, she raised her head. A face, not arrogant or angry, appeared before Sir Yang. It was looking down at himself. When did he move? Why did he appear in front of me? Sir Yang was greatly shocked. Seeing that escape was impossible, Sir Yang quickly retreated a step. She pulled out a gun, ready to fire. Ban, ban, ban. Fussing the gunfire. Ju seemed to casually raise a hand. I think your clothes. Clink, clink, clink. A few bullets slid off his fingertips. They didn't even hit his clothes. Sir Yang's eyes widened. The servant's bullets kept firing. Is this still human? But she had no time to be surprised. She quickly pulled out other weapons. Ban, 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 ban. She tried every gun in her backpack. Finally, she even resorted to using a nail gun. Back to you, it had no effect at all. Cheek, cheek, cheek. Empty shots, hitting the air. No, she had fired the last bullet. Still standing in place. Ju, who she was shooting at like a target, began to move again. Approaching chair. Sir Yang retreated to the side, while frantically searching for the last weapon on her body. Close combat weapons. Although close combat weapons are not as convenient as guns, she had the confidence to sever the legs of the person in front of her. Sir Yang still had hope. There was no other way. She could only fight to the death now. Holding a posture of holding a broken sword, Sir Yang swayed to the left. This was a feint. Seeing your gaze follow her movement, she seized the opportunity. A beautiful phoenix flipped over and leaped up. Her sharp dagger lunged towards your throat. However, it was as if you had eyes in your back. Ju didn't even turn your head. Directly reached out a hand and grabbed Sir Yang's throat. Naturally, the more beautiful the woman, the more vicious she is. Ju glanced at the bullets scattered all over the ground. There was still the sharp dagger in Sir Yang's hand. And her beautiful face, filled with despair. The gap was too large. There was no way to win. Sir Yang felt a wave of despair. She wondered if she should use her strongest power. But looking at the person in front of her, she knew there was no way. She closed her eyes. Ju looked at her eyes, which were pitch black. Without any emotion. There, cheek. Detected special entity. Moving mountain, first generation messenger. Has Sir Yang been refined into a zombie puppet? Cost 10,000. At the same time, not far away, two lurking figures stopped their steps. It was Ubadi and his group. Used like Sir Yang. Now it's chaos. This is the best time to escape. Fakti originally planned to run directly. Alas, Ubadi is too stubborn. If he insists on coming, then Sir Yang. They just stumbled and ran over. But just now, they saw Sir Jan's silhouette. Used about to shout. They saw the figure sitting on the scorpion. The figure in black clothes and black hair was approaching step by step. That man bent down, holding Sir Jan's leg. Lifted her up. What kind of ghost thing is this dog mother raising? What are you trying to do? Ubadi saw the situation. And really charged forward. It was about to grab his gun and fight for his life. But Fatty grabbed him. Dragging him on the path of life and death. Dragging him along. Fatty was muttering. Oldu, wake up a bit. We can't save Sir Yang. This monster is not on the same level as us. As we encountered before. If we go up, we're just sending ourselves to death. Better to leave the Green Mountains. No fear of not having firewood to burn. Upai gritted his teeth. His eyeballs were about to pop out. But Fatty refused to let go. he could only keep dragging him, reluctantly moving back and forth. And then, before your eyes, the system is refining Shirley Yang into a corpse puppet, begging for mercy. It only hesitated for 2 seconds. Eat waste. The figure dissipated, turning into a beam of radiant smoke. Instantly enveloped Shirley Yang. For a moment, Shirley Yang stopped struggling. The shock in her eyes turned into calm, finally turning into a dead silence. The smoke swirled for about 10 seconds. Finally, it all dissipated, entering Shirley Yang's body. Refinement successful. Dime. Shirley Yang's eyes, which had lost their vitality, began to regain their light. In the moment of revival, a faint smile appeared on Shirley Yang's face. Bewitching and moving. Her eyes were clear. Master. This voice was tender to the bone. Do slightly loosen your grip. And put her back on the ground. Shirley Yang knelt down, lowering her head in a posture of utmost reverence. Thank you, Master, for giving me new life. This is my honor and fortune. Ju sized up the woman. At this moment, her eyes were full of tenderness and worship. Not the slightest trace of the ferocity she had just demanded of herself. Ju said coldly. You are now my corpse puppet. You are no longer human. Though you resent me. A hint of doubt appeared on Shirley Yang's face. Her tone was still gentle. It is the Master who gave me new life. Granted me eternal life. And freed me from the many sufferings of being human. How could I resent the Master? The system also chimed in with a prompt. Corpse puppet is 100% loyal to the host. The Tomb Master can rest assured. You are completely satisfied. Raise your hands. Shirley Yang immediately stood up. There was still a pair of butterfly wings standing around you. Seemed your desire to sit down. She immediately stepped forward, pushing her body to embrace. Shirley Yang also followed suit. She immediately stepped forward to massage your legs. With such a beautiful woman kneeling before you, bowing her head to you. If you feel displeased, that would be impossible. Supporting one side of her face with her hand, Ju brought up the system interface. The night vision, just rewarded by the system. Cost 10,000 genie to exchange for. As the page turned, the interface transformed into light particles, entering your eyes. Ju felt as if a thread of light was unfolding before your eyes. Everything around you suddenly brightened. The tomb, even the distant mountain shrines. Ju could see them clearly. Everything before your eyes became as clear as daylight. Ju suddenly had a sense of detachment, as if separated from the world. Waiting in the tomb for so long. He had not seen such a clear and bright world for a long time. Ju suddenly felt excited. Conveniently, you picked up the small divine shovel just rewarded. A dazzling small shovel appeared in your hand. Ju casually played with it a few times. The flower knife spun. It made one's eyes dizzy. Shirley Yang massaged your legs. Looking at this scene, full of reverence and longing for more. Shirley Yang didn't know what you just did. But looking at the curve of your lips at this moment, and those eyes that were slightly different from just now, Ju must have become stronger again. You are actually in a very good mood now. The small divine shovel is no less than Chen Julo's weapon back then. Paired with night vision, it's truly comfortable to use. What a pity. Ju lightly tossed the small divine shovel towards a distant stone head. Momentarily, the edge of the small divine shovel sank into the stone head, as if cutting mud. You frowned. If it were my own hands, that edge would have already turned into fragments. The small divine shovel is really not very useful in your hands. Is it a special item, the small divine shovel? Can obtain 20,000 genie. Ju were surprised. It's actually worth so much money. A immediately pressed, confirm. Looking at the extra 20,000. You pondered. This is probably the value of a special item. Special item. Speaking of the special items on these people, A couldn't help but think of Ubaidi. And the 16-character Jin Jam secret art. Ju glanced at Shirley Yang, who lowered her eyebrows. Ju already had a plan in mind. Suddenly, Qin Xian, who had turned into a bloody pulp, let out a mournful scream. Congratulations, Tomb Master. Tomb Guardian White Scorpion's first skill activation White Scorpion Fire. The effect is remarkable. Only the white flames spat out by the White Scorpion were visible, burning wantonly on a thick, snake-like muscle fiber. The speed of spread was astonishing. However, in an instant, the white flames followed the flesh-colored blood vessels, burning towards the center of the flesh, where the crystal material was. This could only be used in their original positions for combat. They all have a common weakness. That is, the more important the place. On the contrary, the more fragile. The blood coffin King Xian, for convenience in battle, had already fixed himself in place with tree roots. Now his eyebrows are burning. He desperately tried to struggle, only able to tear his own flesh and blood. After losing half of his bloody flesh, It tried to claw his way into the water. But the white phosphorus worm gave him no chance. Alone with the 8-winged heavenly spider, they pinned down his escaping silhouette. Both tails simultaneously smashed him into the tomb wall. King Xian refused to die, still trying to drag the water crystal pillar towards the center. As the flames intensified, his speed grew slower and slower. The white phosphorus worm was playing with him, still spitting flames, tormenting him, wailing and crying out in agony. It was about to die here. He was unwilling. It still had a great mission. Stop this fire. Sabe me. For a moment, the empty tomb was filled with him. His desperate cries echoed. The white phosphorus flames illuminated the cave. But you remained silent by the side. At most, you just blinked, as if finding the light too intense. Congratulations to the tomb master's guardian beast, the white phosphorus worm. The worm successfully killed the blood coffin king. Ibtan bonus rewards. 20,000 genie. Before your eyes, a prompt finally appeared. And King Xian also stopped his screams. It no longer existed. Only the remaining flesh, still burning. And the pillar and roots that turned to ash remained. You were expressionless. Having received the reward of genie, King Xian, this old fellow, was never a good thing. That is his just desserts. Congratulations to the tomb master for killing related personnel. New skill, unique art has been unlocked. Ju raised an eyebrow. Unique art. Quality. Tir. Can be achieved by manipulating various insects. To achieve the goal of controlling humans and living beings. The numerous insects are not the most terrifying. But terrifying is the manipulator behind them. Hey. Insects are not the most terrifying. The system is a bit too modest. King Xian was not a good bird. His arrogant demeanor. For an ordinary person, it would mean death 10,000 times over. But because you mastered unique art. In life, the tyrannical king acted as he pleased. Even in death, he could put King Xian's tomb in grave danger. This is all the work of unique art. Observe carefully again. Under unique art, there are many minor skills, such as the tongue worm. The cultivation of the unique worm species. All are included within. This has all come alive. You are quite satisfied. Based on the introduction of these unique arts. Besides using them as offensive techniques, you can also create more tomb beasts and tomb equipment. This way, a large amount of genie can be saved. King Xian sent his skills from afar. Finally, he did something good. Suddenly, a chilling aura spread from all around. You raised your head and looked around. In the distance, there were many black hands, appearing and disappearing. That was a group of dark forces that could not be dispersed. That is an unyielding darkness, level. That is an unyielding darkness. Level ancient fortune. That is an unyielding darkness. Lindsay. That is an unyielding darkness. Lindsay level. No entry. Under the night eye, it's clearly distinct. Level 2 Lindsay. Under the night eye, it's clearly distinct. One is not the main indicator essence not. Under the night eye, it's clearly distinct. Under the night eye, it's clearly distinct. Do not be the master often. Relevasaf. Under the night eye, it's clearly distinct. One is not the master often a child. Level sope virtue. Under the night eye, it's clearly distinct. No. Level 2 almohadilla 10. Under the night eye, it's clearly distinct. One is not the master Swiss knot. Level 2 his. One is not Swiss music too. Level 21 his. It is spreading in your direction. One is not the master often happy knot. Level 2 dis. It is spreading in your direction. No, it is spreading in your direction. Level 2 hs. It is spreading in your direction. Level 2 his. Candle scholars. It is spreading in your direction. Level 21 s. Cohorts give level 2. Finally, we've arrived. Take another look around. Most of those who needed to be eliminated are now dead. King Xian has been utterly incinerated, reduced to ashes. Chen Zhulo has already been crushed to death. The few members of the Shelling sect, just now. Before the fight, they were already dealt with by the 8-winged centipede. Only Ubaidi and his companion remain, fleeing at top speed. No one knows where they went. A bit of a shame. You should know. Just now, you briefly glanced at it. The 16-character Feng Shui secret art, Feng Shui chapter, from the market. That's a good item, worth 500,000. A man's wealth is his ruin. His possession of the jade is his crime. That's more. Ubai should have other valuable items on him. Is a walking honeypot, attracting trouble wherever he goes. However, it's not a big problem. You lowered your head slightly, and looked at Shirley Young in front of you. Shirley Young felt his gaze. She raised her head. Her eyes filled with reverence. Smiling softly, A stroked Shirley Yang's hair. Then brought up the system interface. Shirley Yang has now become a corpse puppet. Ju can naturally upgrade her. She is currently in a state similar to a living corpse. Aside from being slightly cold, she is no different from an ordinary person. Insurance in sight. Ju prepared to adjust her physique again, strengthening her to approximately 3 times that of a normal person. This way, even if Ubaidi and Fatty Wam team up, she can easily deal with them. Speed increased. Strength increased. After the adjustments were complete, Ju looked at Shirley Yang again. She seemed to sense her own changes. Her face was filled with disbelief as she stared at her hands. She raised her head again. Her tone filled with joy. Master, this is your grace. You nodded contentedly. Stroking her head, Ju said in a low voice. Go and bring Ubaiji's 16-character Jin Jiang Feng Shua secret art. And other items. Shirley Yang immediately knelt on one knee, bowing her head. Yes, master. Watching her graceful retreating figure, the surrounding corpse cave couldn't even touch a corner of her clothes. Ju were quite pleased. A waved his sleeve. Go, my little ones. Return to the mansion.